I don't know. I don't see the evidence. I hear we're live. I don't see proof of it yet. And we're live. We're clearly live. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Wrestling on the Rocks. We're coming to you live from hashtag I'm Matt Brown's house. Hashtag I'm Matt Brown has decided since he's giving us a spot, he's demanded he be in the show. This is hashtag I'm Matt Brown.
With a smug grin.
He's in it. He's made it.
Welcome to my yard.
That's like a Roman Reigns thing. This is my yard now. See?
Nice.
So we're going to be reviewing FyterFest today. With that in mind, is there a reason that you're...
Well, it's from the sun. It's pretty hot, so I was trying to cover it, but that's fine. It can burn.
I think it's fine.
All right.
It's fine. Let's see. I was thinking... So today we're going to be talking about FyterFest. That is AEW... That's their pay-per-view from last week. They got another one coming up next week, so we want to get this one in. With that in mind, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes has partnered with Kaz and Adam something to produce these cigars. And we thought we would try cigars for the very first time. American Rebel, I had them once in Vegas. Neither one of these guys have had one. And Clump here has never had any cigar.
Never.
This is going to be his first cigar. As far as the drink today...
What end do they go in? What end do they go in?
You smoke from your butt.
Okay.
We got Kirkland's Signature today.
Crown Royal.
I mean, we're still looking for sponsorships from Crown or Kirkland. If you guys know anybody who could
Costco be a
sponsor
tight
us,
sponsor.
dude, that'd be good. They'd be shipping us stuff by the fucking pallet.
Yeah.
Can you imagine for like, we got our fresh pallet of whiskey in today.
Guys, I got a 60-gallon jumbo mayonnaise. That's all I want. It'll last me like a month.
But you'll notice we have no Kevlar today. He decided not to come in. That's that.
Yeah.
So we got Matt Brown.
For better or worse.
Yeah, all right. So I guess let's just start with the cigars. Did you get to finish FyterFest?
Nope.
Did you start it?
Nope.
You've seen Nona FyterFest?
I have not.
Good.
Car, prepare work. I told you.
Embarrassing.
Hey,
So hold on to this
We know
one.
you're.
This is yours.
Yeah, we know you're better at me at most things. Okay. That smells like a cigar.
Yeah?
I don't know what a cigar smells like.
These are the
What kind of
this-
memories does it elicit? When
Even the
you
producer
smell it like
saw
that?
FyterFest.
So my
Yeah,
my
producer
godfather
saw it.
smoked like all the time, and he had this
Go
old
ahead and pick
F-150.
whichever one you want.
What's your godfather's name?
Lane Pugh. He taught high school in Ridgecrest, Arizona. He's a fantastic guy, and I love him. And yeah,
This is how the cigar punch works.
ah.
Just kind of go in,
And then it goes in my rectum. Okay.
and then there it goes. It cuts off the end, and then you kind of go like that to get the shmoo out.
That's pretty cool.
Right. I feel like
Go ahead,
Kingpin.
punch the back on that, yeah.
You go, dude.
Did something happen to Rusev Day?
It's not
Yeah.
existed for a long while.
Wait, why? Is there something that's popped up on him?
It's just a headline that says, "Who else misses Rusev Day?" And I thought every day was Rusev Day, so I'm really confused.
I
that
miss it every
anybody
day.
would miss it because it should be.
I do like your attitude when it comes to Rusev Day.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Yeah, you don't need to double click it. Just, there you go.
Here we are. You know when you like turn on a lamp and then you do it twice and it just turns it right back off again, and then you have to turn it on all over again.
You're trying to light the whole
It's kind of how
bottom.
you light your cigars.
So kind of go around it. I mean,
Lights your cigars like you're trying to turn on the lamp. Yeah. It's
There you
important
go.
that you inhale deeply.
don't inhale
Don't.
deeply. Don't do that. You'll die.
I trust him more than you. It's bad. God damn it, Matt Brown.
Did you get the cigar punch?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. I've got. Let me see if I can pull up actually the different ones, because we got like. Well, I guess I didn't have all of them available at the time, so we got a couple versions of the American Rebel cigar. What do you think?
Tastes like cheeseburgers.
That's where I was.
Cheeseburgers are you eating?
That's where I was storing it. That's a good Good notice. Good catch.
Did this just like block me from cooking for you guys again? Or at any point?
Let's see. What are the types they got here? Stogie Bird. Nope. Limited Reserve. Connecticut Toro.
Can I like put this out on someone?
I believe this one's the Connecticut Toro. And I believe you have the Robusto.
It's thick and meaty like men.
I've got the. How do you tell?
I think you got the extra Fuerte Toro. I'm just looking at the pictures they have on their site of them. Or no, I think you have the Habano Corona.
Do they have a different color or something? Because they all look like stiff
Different
turds.
colors. Yours, there's two of them in there that are virtually the same except one slightly shorter. I gave you the one slightly shorter.
Oh, cool.
That's the Robusto one.
Can you buy these online, or do you have to go to the store?
You can buy them online. You can buy them at AmericanRebelCigars.com. They got a bunch of different packs on there. You can get, they've got a bunch of different packs you can get them. I don't think you can get any single, but it looks like you can get as little as 5 and as many as 10. I think they're good.
How long have you been doing this show now? What week is this? What month are we in?
Wow.
I mean, this is, I think, sort of episode 14-ish.
Nice.
So if we do it once a week, 14 weeks.
14 weeks. So
Ish.
good.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, good.
Since April, yeah.
Good
Since-
3 months ago.
Yeah,
It was like 70
major.
degrees in April.
yeah. We could have done this then.
Yeah, it would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have these then.
Currently,
Yeah.
Currently,
These we got at StarCast 2 for during Double or Nothing. Do you remember the date of that? Is that
That was
May?
May 24th because I was in Phoenix.
May 24th is
I don't
when
know.
he showed up.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are complaining about. I mean, I think smoking something hot when my balls are soupy is fantastic.
When are your balls not soupy?
Not often.
All right, that makes sense. Makes sense. Keith made it. He's one of our regs. That's short for regular.
Oh, you in Square
Matt Brown?
Circle?
I am. Yeah, yeah. Everything that I chime in with today will be straight from the front page of Reddit
That's the best wrestling subreddit.
because I don't know what I'm talking about, but you guys are in my house, so I'm here anyway.
Yeah, so fuck. You got nothing else to do. You're like, I'm not going to sit in the back
I
and be
got laundry
quiet.
going over there right
Yeah.
now.
Well, it looks like it's also becoming a commune for our place of employment.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like Clump did not watch. Did you guys want to try this one as well? See how they taste differently and stuff? You pass them
What?
around or anything like that?
I don't want to ruin another cigar because I'm kind of making the soupy on the end. I don't know how to.
Yeah, your tongue in that one, dude. You already took the sticker off. Oh,
That's my finger.
yeah. All right. Well, if you guys have any questions or anything you want us to talk about with FyterFest, I'll go through it a little bit. It sounds like Clump didn't even try to watch it.
Yep.
Matt Brown didn't even know we were going to be here today. So that's good. I'm glad everyone is doing their bit. Let's see. So the buy-in started out with a video that was mocking FyterFest and that documentary. The whole buy-in was based off of the FyterFest documentary.
Right. Because FyterFest. Yeah, right.
Yeah. The biggest issue I had with that more than anything is that, for one, we're a parody again. I've told you before I would like to see them take themselves seriously at some point. They still haven't done it yet. We'll see how that goes. Packing and getting ready for the move. Keith didn't watch it either. Good. Good.
Did anyone watch it?
No one's watched it. I will say this. Let's talk numbers a
We
little
should
bit.
make shit up.
Oh, we can just make up anything.
Matt
Dude,
Brown had a
Macho Man's
fantastic-
back. Macho Man came back.
It was really bad. They desecrated that corpse so badly.
How's
Horrible.
the Nexus doing? Is Wade Barrett still a pretty relevant problem these days?
He's doing fantastic. He's a 3-time WWE champion now.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
He does movies now too.
His movies?
He kept his accent.
What kind of movies is he doing?
One's with
Rom-coms?
only men.
What? They're
And
always
really
only
like
men.
like Expendables knockoffs?
Kind of.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More fists,
More fists.
less hitting.
It's like Jason Statham movies.
Yeah. Yes. Wade Barrett is the Jason Statham.
Of fisting movies.
Huh.
Yeah.
They're on one of those like hub sites you can watch.
Who do you think will be the next like breakthrough movie star from the WWE?
John Cena keeps trying.
Cena's getting.
He's pretty well established.
Yeah.
He's not rock satisfying, but like
I mean,
No,
he just jumped into Fast and the Furious. That was what launched Rock into his status.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that with him joining the Fast and the Furious thing, I don't think we're very far from seeing
Well,
some
he
serious
had like the
jobs.
rundown, and
Walking Tall. Those
Walking
were WWE movies.
oh really?
Yeah.
And they got rid of their studio.
No, they just only focused on Marine
And then
movies.
John
now.
Cena did what the wrestling movie, not like the like traditional wrestling movie. You know what I mean? Like where he coached a kid or something like that.
Was that the one where
What?
he was an animated bull?
I'll look it up.
Oh, Ferdinand. Yeah.
No.
Oh.
It was supposed to be nice to
I'll
you.
IMDb it.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know who's really trying to get out there much. Although I would say that if I could
The
handpick
Miz was
someone,
in something, wasn't he?
Fuck that
recently?
guy.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I would say if I could handpick anyone
have
to
to
actually
like
get into Hollywood
Yeah.
and start doing that, and someone I think would blow up in Hollywood.
Count to three and we'll both say it. I think we're on the same
All
page.
right.
3,
2,
2, 1. Shame.
Alexa.
Dana Brooke.
What?
The fuck? Dana Brooke?
How are you
Actually, Dana Brooke can do whatever she wants. She's
Yeah,
good.
Dana Brooke.
I think Alexa Bliss actually could be great in Hollywood.
You just don't want her in a goddamn WWE ring.
I just don't want her with the belt. Don't want her with the belt. But I do think she could be great in Hollywood.
But Alyssa,
Producer here also agrees. Alexa's a great actress.
Yeah, I think she could be great. You know, I bet you Sheamus could actually be good. His commercials are funny.
Sheamus is really funny.
He could do like a Braveheart remake. You know what I mean?
Braveheart for
They're
Sheamus?
remaking everything nowadays.
He was in the Ninja Turtle movie. He did good in that.
Was he really?
Yeah.
What did he do? Was he Shredder?
No, he was Rocksteady.
How do I make it like burn evenly?
Yeah, you can't
Keep
fix
turning
that
it?
now.
Keep turning it.
No, it just won't now.
Just chew a little bit off the front there. Yeah, just like that.
You know very well if you say that I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to tell
That's
my
why-
wife, and you
that's
have
why
better.
he said it.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
I'm just-
Keith thinks Alicia Fox would be cool in movies. I don't know. That feels kind of like going, I would like to see the worst parts of Lindsay Lohan life back in Hollywood.
Roman Reigns is going to be in Hobbs and Shaw, the new Fast and the Furious movie.
Roman Reigns, the new Hobbs and Shaw. I can see Roman doing great in Hollywood. He's
is
got a
he
great
really?
look. Yeah.
He's in it, yeah, and it's going to be because he's the Rock's cousin. He's going to play.
I'm gonna
Rock's
keep
cousin.
watching Fast and Furious franchise entries as long as they keep making them, regardless
Really?
of how bad they are.
I've only seen like 3 of
Really?
them ever.
Which ones have you seen?
I don't remember. I don't think they're in order.
Well, they get better because they had like 2 was very much a 2002 movie. Like it felt in every way like that, and then yeah.
Going through
Oh.
John Cena's filmography right now to try and figure out what it was I was talking about.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance you're not thinking of John Cena.
I think it was.
I think you're thinking of Steve Carell.
What the hell are you talking
They get confused a lot for each other.
John Cena was in Daddy's Home?
Yeah.
I didn't see the movie.
Oh.
Wait, are you thinking about
So if you didn't see the movie, how are you surprised he wasn't in it? You said that as though you don't remember seeing him.
Because I thought it was just a Marky Mark and Will Ferrell deal.
Yeah.
I didn't think they had enough in the budget after those two to...
He doesn't have a big role.
How many WWE collaborations have there been with Hanna-Barbera cartoons like Scooby-Doo and Flintstones?
A lot.
a lot?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that was a whole
two or-
thing.
2 or 5 of them at least, because
Yeah.
John Cena's in quite a few.
Scooby-Doo has a lot to do with WWE in the animated world. They're entwined.
You remember that guy who like was one of the first like YouTube viral video starter, Fred?
Fred. Yes.
Yeah, apparently John Cena's cameoed in at least 2 of his movies.
I have no idea who Fred is.
It's a very
He always talked with like a voice filter. It was
like
weird. It's not weird. I'm not. Oh, all 3 of them actually.
Oh.
All 3 of them.
So he's friends with that.
Legendary. That's the one I was talking. Yeah, Legendary.
Oh. Is it good?
I don't know,
Oh.
but
Are you surprised of that one as well?
it got
or-
6.2 out of 10. The Metascore is not great, but what a critics now.
The critics are bullshit, man.
it's got Danny Glover in it. I did not know Danny Glover. Is Danny Glover alive still?
It got a nomination.
He was at the time of the filming, at least.
Got an. It got a nomination for the EDA Female Focus Award. An actor, which is actresses who defy age and ageism.
So an old woman or a young woman?
Keith said that Surf's Up WrestleMania DVD came with a Dean Ambrose figure. He's not even sure why. I get the impression Dean wasn't even in that one. But and Surf's Up was the Penguins, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
they did like a icy penguin thing, and then they were in that too.
Icy penguin.
But I would say that, so they did their whole buy-in thing, and it was based off FyterFest. They did not do a good job of explaining really what was going on early on. So this guy comes in, they're interviewing this dude, and he's chewing on his apple after they ask him a question, and it's just they had a mic like in his mouth. It was just so fucking gross sound. It was awful. And then
What were they asking about that?
they asked him like if he did it. They said, did you do it? And he just starts eating his apple. He never answers the question. They never circle back to him. They never put what his name is on screen. I don't know who he is or why he's being interviewed, but he's wearing an AEW shirt, and that is it. They don't explain who he is ever, or ever give a name for him or his importance. None of that.
Just like peanut butter.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
The cigar tastes like peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm allergic to peanuts. Is this bad?
Yeah.
Find it.
Okay, cool.
So I just don't know what the point is of any of that. But it sounds like you don't even want to talk about this, so we can talk about whatever you want.
No! I mean,
Because every time I start trying to, you
Well,
say something random for no
it-
reason.
Definitely reviewing FyterFest.
okay. I mean,
We don't have to.
I get what you mean. I think them being serious, the parody is good, but I think I would like to see an intro that's a more serious intro, like a WWE wrestling intro.
You know what was weird? So this is the thing that really got us about the buy-in when I was watching it with Kevlar, was we thought it was peculiar that in between the matches, they would go back to this documentary bit and do these jokes and stuff, and it was Young Bucks and Kenny Omega the whole time. And then people would come up for a match, and we wouldn't know who they were or why they were fighting or anything like that. And it reminded us of, as much as they're going to be an alternative, they're not WWE, and you can respect all of that. WWE before a match on a buy-in, or in between matches, we even will explain what's going on. What are we here for? What are we going to watch? What are we going to see? And why do we care?
Yeah.
They tell you why to care. And this one was using the time in between those matches to remind you that Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are their top stars. And that was it. It wasn't to get you excited about the next match, to tell you what's coming up. Yeah. It was just, don't forget, these are our top stars. Don't forget, these are our top stars. Don't forget, this is our top star. Okay, we'll get to that. Who's going out now?
And they could do more to explain, because like we know like people like Sammy Guevara. Do you know who Sammy Guevara is? No, it's okay.
Me neither.
He's out of El Paso. Houston. He's really young. He does a lot of YouTube videos. He wrestles with Triple A lot. He's really cool. But even he's not really covered. Give these people, because there's a lot of really cool people that I'm curious about. Like I want to know about that fat guy who looks like me with the yellow face, Sunny Days.
Sunny Days? I thought you were talking about Fat Ass Masa.
Just because they're fat.
Yeah.
They do look like me, but
This comment is in reference to the post-show interviews.
Oh, yeah.
For FyterFest. It says, my only issue, which is of no fault of AEW, is the reporters asking baiting questions to get them to discuss other companies.
Oh, at the end? Yeah. I don't like that shit either. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't talk about other people. With that in mind, there was, I believe I counted 4 or 5 WWE references during the course of this show.
Yeah.
Stop.
yeah.
So during a match with, I believe it was the Joey and John Mox match. You don't. You just.
Yeah, you gotta keep the stack for as long as possible, man.
You keep it for a while, and then you can you break it.
It insulates everything. You gotta light it from scratch, dude. You want? I mean, if this cigar is stacked before it falls off, I'm doing my job.
Yeah, he's doing a good thing.
I'm glad my dad's not here, because I feel like I don't need another male figure.
You for your father. You weren't ready to smoke a cigar with your
Yeah.
father.
If your dad saw this, for Christ's sake, man.
I don't think another male figure in my life's going to be a positive added to this. Okay, so
I just really want your dad to love you, dude.
Yeah. At this point, it's on you.
That's the subtitle, by the way, right now.
This podcast.
First cigar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'm doing it.
So yeah, during the Moxley and Joey match, which we'll get to a little bit, or maybe we'll just jump around on this. Jim Ross said, "There's tables, there's ladders, and a chair. Oh my!"
That's a subtle. Yeah, I mean,
Why? Why make reference to one of WWE's yearly events? Tables, ladders, and chairs. And what do they say in their commercials every time? Oh my! Stop, man. Like, there's just no need for it. I don't want to watch AEW and think about WWE. I don't.
you didn't as a WWE fan think, oh my God, a little Easter egg in here just for me.
No.
He's not.
No, because the thing is listening to his podcast lately, you've been hearing it, Grilling JR, he's getting fucking snotty about WWE. Like, he's starting to get riled up. And he goes, that's the problem with the WWE right now, and like starts getting all riled up. And it's like, calm down, dude. Like, chill. You're doing good. You're doing good. You've got the upper hand right now.
You're making barbecue sauce. You're doing fine. You make it
Yeah.
passable ketchup.
And he's like, dude, that Chipotle ketchup was good. And I love JR, dude. I'm a huge fan of JR. I just think that he needs to. Maybe I think he'll look back at this and in hindsight think, yeah, I handled that wrong. You know what I mean? I think that if he just took the high road and just took pride in AEW and never compared AEW to WWE again, I think he'd be doing a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think he could. And I think that the ways that he could be bringing AEW up, he's spending those opportunities to try and bring WWE down, and it's not going to work, and it's not helpful.
Well, could it also be that they've brought in people that have not had the best past with WWE? Like Billy Gunn left because he was taking steroids. He was kicked out for taking steroids. And it wasn't even at a WWE event, but he was also bodybuilding and taking steroids. And they're like, yeah, dude, no.
Dude, he's a fucking beast. He was at StarCast. He walked right past me, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, the dude's huge. You don't think about that. Like, looking back on the guys, you think of like, oh, Triple H was big. You think of the New Age
Billy
Outlaws
Gunn's
were
like
cool.
6'6".
Yeah, and he's like fucking 250 or something. And the dude's got 0% body fat.
Yeah.
The dude is a beast. It's crazy, man. I think since his wife passed away, he stopped giving a fuck with the repercussions of what he says. I agree. It's not about the repercussions. I don't think he's concerned with repercussions. I think that the problem is that it's a poor showing on AEW's TV to have him
Drowning
trying
in
to
sorrows and upsetness and barbecue sauce.
Yeah, and think about what Tony Schiavone was famous for with the WWE. With like, I mean, it was never his fault. I'll give you this. I love Tony Schiavone. I met him at StarCast. Super nice. He was told by Bischoff to shit on WWE from time to time, and he's got a bad rap now to this day. And him and Foley didn't get along for a long time because of that whole like, oh, that'll put ass in seats. And it's like, did that really help WCW at that time? Did it help WCW in hindsight? No.
Yeah.
Neither of those things were true. And I think AEW, I think AEW can be walking that line a little bit.
Well, and back to your first thing about how we were talking about these stars, I see you put in the librarian there, and I know a little bit about the. I know a little bit about Peter Avalon.
Yeah.
Because he's, especially being from Arizona, he's very important to Arizona wrestling. He's a,
Is he?
Yeah, he wrestled in Phoenix for a long time, and he's done a lot in Arizona. And he's a cool dude. I'd like to see more of him and going into why did you make him the librarian?
Yeah, I think that there's no backstory between the librarians. I think it's really upsetting, and it comes off really stupid most of the time. But I think maybe with some explanation, it might not. And I would say also Leva Bates. She's also amazing. She can do anything. Like, she's taken on every... Did you see her and Orange Cassidy doing a thing together? She did the Orange Cassidy stuff against Orange Cassidy. Came out in the same thing, did the same kind of stuff. It's like, wow, you're amazing. I don't like the Orange Cassidy stuff, so it wasn't something I was going to be like, hey, everyone should watch this. But, I mean, if you're into Orange Cassidy, you should see Leva Bates versus Orange Cassidy.
Do you know who Orange Cassidy is?
I don't. I'm frantically trying to look stuff up here to be relevant in this conversation.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy is a guy who comes out in just jeans and sneakers and...
Like jeggings, like the guy like drop crotch jeggings, and he'll do like a tope suicida. What is it?
I don't know.
So,
he keeps
that's
his
the
hands in
rough
his
guy.
pockets the
You
whole
can't
match.
speak another language and then try to explain what you just said.
Yeah,
a
with
cigar
put something in your
mouth.
mouth.
Can you hold this big
You
round?
You can rest it like this.
Oh,
Trying to look cool with this guy.
Okay, maybe.
I want to look like Kingpin because he's also big and bald and fat.
Yeah.
Maybe
He's got money.
Maybe this could be fun. There was a Google Doc survey to rank the fights from 1 to 5, 5 being amazing, 1 being not amazing. And
Ooh, we could
so
do that.
Maybe we could vote, and then we could see how those results stack up too.
You
On
could,
matches?
yeah, but because you could watch more. You could go into it, and then we could ask you why.
There we go.
Because I think it's interesting that I didn't watch it, and I like AEW, and Matt Brown is a very good intermediary and punching bag for you, which is why I'm between you two. And how you doing?
I'm reading what Keith's saying. He says the only thing about the librarians I enjoyed was that Nick and Cody, I think, were arguing over who hired who because I'm the EVP, no, I'm the EVP. So his favorite part about the librarians was a skit that did not involve the librarians, and said, if the shushing is supposed to draw heat, I don't get it. And I agree with that. I think the shushing bit, going back and forth, feels like a waste of TV time. But again, I think maybe if we understood the gimmick, we might appreciate it on some level. But they're spending no time explaining any of these things, and it makes it hard for us to follow along. And they're not trying to help us follow along. I will say this is, I was really hoping you had seen it.
Sorry, bro.
Because I will say overall, if I were to rate the FyterFest,
the full show,
top to bottom, I'd say 2.5, maybe 3 out of 5. I would say it was not overly enjoyable for the most part. I will say there are a few highlights. I would say that I think, again, a major drawback is just that they don't have their weekly show yet, and they're trying to put on pay-per-views that feel meaningful, but they're not helping us put meaning behind it either.
because of the pace of how frequently they want to do
Well,
this.
They don't have a weekly show, so they just put out this show, this pay-per-view. They do some stuff on YouTube to hype you up, but it's even not that complete. And if that was going to be your hype, the buy-in should be playing a lot of those videos.
Well, and I think they're trying to make this a house show. If you're going to make it a house show, make it a house show. And just call it a house show. Don't hype it up like a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You sit here, I kind of think it feels like a season finale without any of the episodes in the season. So there's nothing to
Not a lot
build
of-
off.
yeah.
I'm watching something for the first time and I don't quite get everything.
Yeah.
Maybe that's for the best. Maybe people would have liked that last season finale of Game of Thrones better if they had
it
watched
started
the
with that?
previous 7 seasons.
Yeah. If there was nothing before it.
I thought it was a great season
Maybe they
finale.
were trying to do that, and they're like, "Wow, this would be awful. Let's just play this show."
And I will say that I agree with Keith. It's hard to build a pay-per-view without TV, even with YouTube. And I agree. But then I think that you're not utilizing the buy-in appropriately. You have an hour here of people watching, trying to get excited for the show, and you're not doing anything to explain any of that beforehand. Show some of those YouTube videos.
Well, on BNR Live, they should work to link Being the Elite to BNR Live. So that when you're watching this, say, hey, watch this shit too.
But then you got to cut out.
No, but they should. I think BNR should work on an agreement out with, or Warner should work on an agreement with the Bucks to put their content on there as well, so you can see it both. Because the Being the Elite stuff is a good comedy show, and it does build up some of the story.
Yeah, and I've seen some of them sometimes. And sometimes it builds up stuff good, but I think people get lost in that shuffle. And again, I think it's just a misuse of the buy-in to try and create a parody documentary during the buy-in with people who are not in the buy-in, and then you avoid us learning what's coming up, what to expect, and who are we looking at, why should I care. I will say one of the best matches on the card was Christopher Daniels versus Cima. Absolutely incredible. Top to bottom, amazing, impressive, but there's no emotion behind it. That was my only complaint, is that I could never figure out who I'm supposed to cheer for or who I'm supposed to boo for. They seemed like they were both faces. They both were just being super competitive, and without a background story of why they were being this competitive bout, it's just like, okay, this is just a good match. I mean, like, I don't get, there was no, and you can even see it with the audience, no one popped for a near fall because it didn't matter. Whoever won, cool.
Well,
You know?
and I think that's back to bad storytelling. There is a really long backstory with them.
Is there?
Cima was one of the first people to give Christopher Daniels a shot in Dragon Gate.
That would have been amazing to know.
Yes.
They could have spent, I know that they said that they had a long storied
Clump
history.
didn't even see it. He knows more than the people who just tuned in.
I have a problem where I read the.
Yeah, but I watched it and I didn't know that. I should have known that they said there was a long storied history. That was it. So I go, okay, what? And they said that this rivalry or these two went back decades. Okay, and how? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know anything. They could have put together a little video package or something.
I feel like sometimes what they do is they want this to be like an in-joke with people who are way into it like me, and that's great.
Exactly.
But you can do more.
They don't do like a little 45-minute promo recap, WWE style.
Yeah,
No.
I think they are missing context,
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
backstory.
I don't think I would tape empty arena matches, but I would do promos. And I would say this: if you're going to use YouTube as your major functionality to build up matches, I would say in your buy-in, you need to be playing at least the highlights from those videos. Maybe not full episodes, but put together video packages prior to matches to let me know what's going on. I guess if you want to go week to week, and I guess maybe they're just trying not to look at WWE, but I'm having a hard time caring about a match like I do care about in WWE. Even matches I don't care about, I know who I want to win in WWE. with AEW, I don't know who I want to win most of the time. You're going to have to help me, guys. I want to know and I want to cheer. But when I just watch two people come out to the ring, shake each other's hand, and then have a great match, any near fall just feels like, oh, that'd be good. Oh, okay. Well, that's nice. Oh, good for him. Like, it never felt like, no, that's my guy, or no, like, I couldn't get drawn into it. I just didn't know. I didn't know I was supposed to.
So if we had to rate SEMA defeating Christopher Daniels from 1 to 5.
I'd say 3.5.
If you knew the stuff that I knew, would that make it a higher match?
Maybe. I don't know what you know.
Well, what I mean, like, is if they did like what I just told you, like they've known each other since Dragon Gate, they've worked with each other since Dragon Gate, they've worked off and on. That's when they announced that SEMA was going to be in AEW at the press conference in Vegas. They did build it up, but even then they didn't go into the history. Christopher Daniels gave a great speech about it. If you knew that, would it be a match that had more quality? Because the context being what, like producer said, if we had more context, do you think it would improve the match?
I don't know, because I guess at the end of the day, you still had two faces. So if they had a long storied history, if I had a favorite in that history, if I'd known for 20 years he's going going back and this is my guy, SEMA's my guy, when, anytime he turns heel, I'm with him on the whole road, then I could say I could have been invested in that way. But I will say that the audience there did not seem invested either. So I would have to imagine if their audience, their core audience, is the clumps who know this stuff, you would have expected more near fall pops. And there just weren't. There just weren't any. And then when it ended, everyone was just kind of like, very nice. Very nice. Well done, guys. Well done.
Good golf.
Yeah, and that's what it felt like. And it was a great match, but...
If it was an audience full of clumps, though, there would be claps and then dropping shit.
No.
I'm going to put down a 3.
Someone put down a 3?
I'm going to put down a 3.
Yeah.
I won't see the results till we fill out all of them. So
Oh,
that was the fourth match.
Yeah. So which other match do you want me to
I'll
rank?
go back up to the top. Let's do all.
Yeah.
If you watch the whole thing. So first match was Best Friends defeating SoCal Uncensored and Private Party.
I like that's tough. SCU looked like superstars.
I like Best Friends a lot. I know you don't like Best Friends too much.
Mm-hmm. I do not like them at all. I also think that there's got to be some sort of issue down the line in terms of creating action figures or video games. If you have Bill Murray on your trunks, that's got to create an issue down the line.
It's got Bill Murray on its trunks.
Mm-hmm.
What's up with that? There's a story about that.
So
I have
Best
no
Friends.
idea. They've never explained it.
Okay.
So Best Friends, it's like it's a really silly, goofy gimmick, and that's just what it is. It's just being real.
Go ahead.
I like how this is the guy who plays fart music and Wesley Willis, and then I don't fucking like the silly guys. Fuck the silly guys.
Yeah.
Wesley Willis, man.
Yeah, he's good.
Y'all should make an intro theme out of a Wesley Willis song.
It came up on the show, and that's how I found out about Wesley Willis.
It's pretty great.
That's how I described the commentary.
He's great. You could spend a good 45 minutes just looking at Wesley Willis stuff.
Yeah. I described AEW commentary as being like AEW.
Yeah.
Or being Wesley Willis. I said, because Jim Ross always said that commentary was the lyrics of the music that the wrestlers did in the ring, that we were the lyrics to your song. And I said, if that's the case, then AEW commentators are Wesley Willis.
Oh, whooped, man.
Thank you, London. Thank you, Chicago.
See what Keith said. Best thing about.
Yeah, I just put it in my own face.
Oh, okay.
The best thing WWE does with video packages, you kind of can't neglect that as an alternative. I agree. I 100% think that I could watch WWE video packages nonstop every day, all the day. I think they're really great. Oh, we got the worldwide phenomenon. Hashtag I'm Matt Brown. Don't you forget. I'm Matt
Too
Brown.
bad.
You got new mud flaps in your truck, by the way.
I'm Matt Brown. Hashtag I'm a hashtag. I'm Matt Brown.
By the way, Wesley Willis did not go well yesterday.
You played it at work?
Oh,
Oh, man.
that's
One half of one song, and then a person we work with who's very calm and even-handed, Lee. I can't stand this shit. Turn it off.
Oh, man. Poor Lee.
Is he in the back?
Yeah, he's
He's been admitting.
That's unfortunate. Let's see. So the private party SCU best friends,
Yeah, what do we give it?
I want to say like a solid 3.
Yeah, another 3?
I don't think it was bad. It was the best match of the buy-in.
Yeah.
I would say that for sure.
If this is
I felt like there was some silliness. Again, I think they have a hard time understanding how to get from move to move. And I think when you had 6 guys in the ring trying to figure that out, 2 of which, the private party, I got pretty tired of pretty early on.
private party. See, and I know this shit, and I don't know the fuck they are.
Oh, so
Jesus.
they come from a location where you need an invitation, and their combined weight is 305 cranberry vodkas.
This sounds like a 90s SNL skit, and I love it. Could you see Will Ferrell?
I don't like that either one of you like this shit already. Fucking hate this.
We weigh 305
I
cranberry
like that a
vodka.
lot, actually. That's pretty good.
You need to look up
Their
the...
combined weight is that much?
That's what they say.
I feel like it should be higher.
I feel like it should be higher.
How many
Well, they're
people?
small. They're
I think
small.
I'm 305 cranberry vodka.
They're small and they
Two
look
of
like
these-
teenagers.
two of these
I will
folks?
say this. Here's the other problem I have.
385, is that what you said?
305, I think, is what it
That's
was.
still a lot.
I feel like this though. I feel like, and maybe it's just maybe something I have to get over. This might be my problem, and completely a me problem. But Keith says, "Be right back. Smoke break." Cool. We'll see you in a bit, Keith.
Why are you leaving?
Oh.
We're smoking here.
Just watch it outside.
Yeah.
Dude.
Make 'em on a
Watch
If
outside.
we can film it outside, you can watch it.
Yeah, we're live
Yeah.
streaming from outside. You
It's a
can
deal, man.
just take your phone out there.
Keith, disappointed in you, and I liked you.
What? Whoa! Don't lose our only main dish.
This is very true.
Um,
Keith, you're okay.
Don't listen to him.
Yeah.
I'm.
Clump's views are not the views of Wrestling on the Rocks.
Yeah, don't let me talk to you about World War II.
Okay.
He talks about the highlight reels. I think this is maybe a me issue. Like maybe it's my thing I have to get over from being a WWE fan for so long. Is that watching that first match? There's 6 people in there, and 3 of them don't look like stars to me. They look like people who are very young in the business, people who aren't sure if this is really what they want to do. Like they don't look dedicated, right? And 3 of the guys in there look like, oh my God, you're a star. Like they have that, was it the airport draw they talk about? Someone who walks through an airport and people look and say, who's that dude? He's got to be somebody, right? 3 of the guys in that match didn't have that feeling at all. And I just think that as we went through the card, more and more people did not look like someone who I would look at and go, that's somebody, right? He's somebody, I just don't know who. They all look like people from the audience. I mean, just get them. Put them in matching gear.
I had a contract, but I quit because I got full time at Best Buy.
But again, I think that might be my fault. That might be my
I'm gonna
problem.
say maybe that is about. I mean, if we're gonna put a foot down and say, hey, we don't want it compared to WWE
Yeah.
and any other major, then you gotta make some allowances for standards as far as what
Well,
you're used to.
And I
Yeah.
know that one thing here I think that is happening, they're not talking about it, is they're getting smaller guys that they can, 1, build up, but 2, that have more longevity, because that's one thing that can suck with, if you're someone who's doing indie dates and stuff like that, and this is your job, you can't get that big, but also, because you can't work out 5 hours a day, but also, if you get hurt, you don't have this, so you maybe can't be the guy who's so over muscular that there's more risk.
You can't be the guy weighing at least 200 vodka cranberries.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know why I doubted that metric earlier. I'm not an authority on the weight of
I think we
vodka
should-
cranberries.
I think
Well,
think
look at Private Party and ask and put combined weight in there. See what it actually says.
I think I'm 305.
But I will
vodka
say this:
cranberries.
I think solid 3, but I'm probably not. Yeah, because I just had issues with their transitions from.
I'll look it
stuff.
up.
I don't need you both looking up the same thing.
Well, he's got the thingy up.
Oh.
Oh.
I will say this during the announcing. Best Friends got the win on that one, so you'd like that. They did do the hug spot, which I can't stand. They do this bit in all their matches, Matt Brown. Hashtag I'm Matt Brown.
Yeah, I got it.
Where they hug and everyone cheers.
Really?
That's all they
really,
do.
That's really wholesome.
Oh.
You know,
That's
you
wholesome.
don't like that? Yeah, that's
No.
wholesome, dude.
No.
No?
Not when this is the same organization saying we're gonna get rid of the hokey shit. We're not doing hokey stuff that WWE does. We're gonna be more sports orientated.
Has anybody clapped for people hugging in the WWE? I mean,
Oh, yeah. Hogan and
I
Macho.
feel like it's a different kind.
When they did the handshake. Wow, mega powers, dude. Yeah.
But I don't think hugs are hokey. Hugs are pleasant and fun.
Not
sometimes-
in my experience.
Is it because I hug you?
Yes.
Yeah, they do get
And
a
you
bit.
have soupy balls. And
It
you
is a-
hug balls first.
It gets a little bit wet.
Oh, hang on.
What?
I don't know where I'm actually going to find this information.
Look it up, Clump. You said you're gonna find it.
Matt Brown, go back to the survey.
I'm trying really hard.
Matt Brown, go back to the survey.
All right.
Oh, I will say this about the
You're
announcing
doing
on it.
fine,
Hold on.
Matt. You're doing fine.
Before we go back, before we get to the next match, the announcer during this match said, "We are going #FyterFest." They're like, so, okay, in about an hour and a half, it's going to be an hour, we're going to have
45 minutes.
FyterFest, and you can get it on Bleacher Report Live. The guy had no idea.
Was it Excalibur?
I don't know.
Was the guy with the fucking mask on?
I couldn't see them talking.
Oh.
It was audio, and I can't tell their voices apart yet. It was 3 dudes I don't know. Excalibur, I'm starting to recognize his voice because he sounds like Peter Rosenberg.
Yeah.
But they were stumbling over, oh, go here. And then he says, okay, go here, and it's here. And he goes, wait, no, that's not true. It's actually here. He went backwards. Like, imagine Michael Cole saying, But I just was all like,
Doing it again,
guys.
You're comparing.
Yeah. Because they're asking me to compare.
Oh, they're the dudes from fucking New York City.
Yes. I think they're Leo Rush's boys. I think Leo Rush
How
used to
much
work with
do they
them.
weigh?
Is that?
Here, I'll tell you what. You look that up, and I'll look up the average weight of Ivanka Cranberry.
Ooh. This is actually pretty important. Actually, now that you're doing it that way.
Producer was also very confused at why they were not on the same page of how to access if you are not constantly on Bleacher Report, if you're not constantly on these websites. How would I know how to find this?
Yeah, I was upset that the buy-in wasn't on Bleacher Report Live. The buy-in was for Double or Nothing, but not for FyterFest. I didn't want to have to go to YouTube to find the buy-in.
It should be like 8 ounces, right? Like if it's a cup, if it's a standard cup, it's going to be 8 ounces.
8 to 12, I
If
think.
it's 8 to 12 ounces. So how many? Let's do the math now. If they weigh.
How do you not?
Roughly.
You were just looking at pictures of them. How do they not have their stats yet?
So
Is
it
there
went to
a-
fandom, and here's the thing: when I click fandom, which
Yeah.
I have the app, it then goes here and it crashes because I'm running a beta.
Oh, good. Here, I got it.
Right here, I'll bring up the next match then, so that we can.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so Ali defeating. Is it Leva or Leva?
Leva Bates.
Leva Bates.
If I had to rate that match,
Yes, you do.
I'd say as nice as I could be, I'd give it a 1.
All right, well, see, this is where it makes sense because you rated all of them before we even talked about them a 2, and then you've given the last 2 a 3. So I was really waiting for the. Okay, so you give that.
Well, that's
one
just it. Is I
You give that one a 1.
yeah.
Why I won?
Why I won? It looked like 2 people going there. Let's go play wrestle. They didn't have any chemistry in there. They weren't communicating with each other at all. They were trying to do things. They were like stopping mid motion and then just going, wait, I'm supposed to do something else. Like even Irish whips looked really weird and clunky. Like Leva goes to grab Ali and she's like, and then Ali's like, and you're like it was weird and it was hard to watch. It was just hard to watch. And then they put so much gimmick in that match. They kept all the shushing back and forth was, I thought, there was almost 3 minutes of no match before the match. During the match. Like nothing was happening. She's like ducking and then ducks and no, and it was super choreographed and gimmicky that it was like hard to get into. Again, they had no chemistry. The finish was just goofy as shit and unbelievable. Where Leva gets on, she's going towards, what's the other librarian's name? Adrian Pentecock? Don't inhale, dude!
You said that, and I was like, wait, what?
Oh my god.
So the other librarian's out there and trying to hand her a book. I don't know if that's supposed to be a loaded book or something, but he goes to hand it to her and then goes, ugh, and throws it all the way across the room into Alley Cat's hands. And it's all like, they're this close, you literally could hand it, and he's like, and he goes, oh, sorry. And it's like, you misjudged by 20 feet when you could have like, what the fuck was that? So then she turns around, Allie then throws the book at Leva, who catches it, and then gets super kicked in the face. She goes down slowly.
Finally happened.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well done.
Rest in peace.
Well done.
I did pretty good too.
So she
Really
goes down
clever.
really slowly, holding the book, and then goes, when she goes to lay down, she does one of these numbers. Puts the book over next to her, as to not damage the book.
He was looking for a clicker.
Like a cutter, cigar cutter.
I don't know, cutter.
I like how Matt Brown's always armed.
We figured it out.
Yeah. So,
Utility Brown.
I'm not going to repeat that because you had no reason not to listen.
No.
So,
It did sound. I was
My
gonna say.
legendary stack just fell.
I was gonna tell you in the middle of it. I kind of get why Kevin went to watch soccer.
I have some important news. So, if these gentlemen that we're talking about were as dainty as we're making them out to be, so roughly 150 pounds, we'll say, that's 300 pounds total, both of them, conservatively. 300 pounds in ounces is 4,800 ounces. Okay, divided by a standard 8-ounce cup of vodka cranberry, that is 600 vodka cranberries. 600.
So roughly between the two of them, they drank 600 vodka
Yeah, so
cranberries.
they're either drinking doubles, or the math is way off.
Let me see.
And if that's one thing I despise in wrestling, it's bad math.
That's what I'm saying.
Bad math is
Bad math
fucking
and
worst.
bad metrics.
Yeah.
You know,
Whew, man.
weighing and the metric of vodka cranberry was a
Yeah.
questionable.
Producer?
So that match felt like dancers that knew their parts separately but had never danced before. So
that's a good analogy.
nothing looked natural, and it looked very awkward. I think at some moments I remember one of them stopping abruptly and then doing a move. Very awkward pauses like that didn't look very clean.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I
Yeah.
got.
Are you checking my math? What's up?
I was trying to get their combined weight to see if
Oh.
I had that correct. And that's really what it felt like. It was just and it was disappointing because I've seen Leva Bates in some great matches.
Yeah.
I know she's capable, but they had no chemistry. And again, it seemed like
This is something that they just said, we're going to put you guys together right now. I'll help you know how to do a match.
or almost like they were given different scripts. If you were to like actually say it was truly choreographed, they were given different things, but they were like really close, or they both had different start times for the same thing. They were just off.
Wait, why am I supposed to hit Cody in the back of the head with a chair? Oh, wrong match.
Oh, wait a second. So yeah, I was super disappointed in that match, and that was one of the ones I was looking forward to. I was super excited. It was just awful. The Dark Order came out, finally got their name.
Nice.
So that was the former Smash Brothers.
Which I like the name Smash Brothers more, but yeah. Right.
I will say this about that real quick was, so they did a whole bit where the best friends are in the ring, the lights go out. Well, a video goes up, and it's we're the Dark Order, and the Dark Order, Dark Orders. I don't know what they were saying. And then the lights go out for a while. Then they kick back on, and they're surrounding the ring.
One of them's a big guy.
Yeah, one of them's a big guy. During the lights out, they said, oh, maybe they forgot to pay their electric bill. Okay, weird. Second show, you're going to say you're broke. But then the lights go on. They're there. They're standing there for, 10, 15 seconds. Lights go out again for a long time. Come back, and they're gone. And even the best friends went, whoa, okay. And the whole audience had that same kind of like, ugh. No one knows what's happening with it. Like, I want to know more.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think whenever I hear Dark Order, it makes me think of in the 1993 when they first got Hulk Hogan in WCW and they wanted to make Hulk Hogan look big, so they had him against the Dungeon of whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Dungeon of Doom?
Dungeon of Doom to try and make Hulk Hogan look good, and it just didn't.
Yeah,
Oh, hello,
didn't work out.
hello, small dog. Aw. Is that Bradley?
It's Bradley.
I'm eating a first thing I follow on Instagram.
Maybe text him to grab you a new beer.
You yeah.
Text
I
him.
follow Bradley on Instagram. Yes, I do.
Do you really?
Yeah. Bradley Pooper. Does he have a new?
I don't even
Anything?
follow him on Instagram.
I
If
recognized
it's
him immediately.
like if it's something that comes up and it's like I see a bunch of people from work, I'm like, I'll follow this. I want to be nice and supportive.
Let's see. There was no natural movement between those guys or between them, which is why I gave that one a 1. Let's see. After that, probably is Nakazawa versus Alex Jabali. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, I'm glad you pronounced it before I tried to.
I didn't like the announcing for him, just the intro. He goes, Michael Nakazawa.
That's a thing.
Why?
It's a thing from Japan.
Okay, why? Tell me about
I
it.
don't know that much about Michael Nakazawa. He was in DDT.
And that's the thing that he did from there?
Yeah, DDT.
Well, why?
It's a thing that, and it's also been in the Elite thing where like, so the Young Bucks have had this thing where Matt or Nick, I still have trouble figuring out which one's which. This liking Michael Nakazawa in the mat to a huge level, and he's just like Michael Nakazawa, like he's just obsessively saying it. So it's that.
But he said Naka a bunch.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Is that part of that?
That or DDT, because he was a comic wrestler in DDT, which.
And that is my other problem.
And I like DDT, but yeah, it's.
I would say that one I'd give. I don't know, 1 1/4.
1 1/4. All right, I'm rounding down then. That's 1.
All right.
Why?
Alex Jabali's not a wrestler. He
He
came
is.
out in a Seth Rollins t-shirt.
Good job, guys.
You should have gone with the Bill Murray. Safe choice. You know?
It was identical to the Seth Rollins one, except it said CEO 10. He really, and here's the other, and it was gold, but it was identical to Seth Rollins one. And I know that the putting across and spelling things around it is a thing, but it had the same like ends and the same like streak thing that the Seth Rollins one has. It wasn't like the KCCO ones that Chive had, where there were straight lines. These were the Seth Rollins. So he came out in a Seth Rollins shirt. He is the CEO of the convention that they were putting this show on at.
Well, he does. He's a professional gamer,
That's some.
and he does.
That's some Ben Affleck shit where you like
I'm multi.
write a movie, produce the movie, and then act in the movie.
Yes.
It's like
I can make a Boston
Some-
accent.
Now I will say this. Apparently, there's
How do you
history
like
between
them
these two
apples?
dudes.
yeah.
Apparently
What's the
between.
history?
Apparently they've had another match. Nakazawa and Jabali.
They had a run-in thing. Kind of. It's.
I don't know. Apparently there's like history with them too, which was not well explained. Also, during this match, they sold the use of a weapon being an inflatable flamingo from a kiddie pool, where he hit him with it and he went, ugh, and then he used the nose on the flamingo to hook and drag Jabali, which as he pulled on it, you could see it immediately flipping, and so he catches up, so it looks like it's dragging him. Not
Sounds
a
like
fan of that
Sounds
hokey
like a
shit.
bad Bollywood film.
Yeah. Then all the commentators seemed to know what was happening before it was happening.
Like an anime thing.
So they were like a step ahead of the match almost. So like he goes to pour out all these buttons, these video game buttons that have his face on them. As he's pouring them out, he's like, "Is his face on every one of those buttons?" Sure is. And then the camera comes down to it, so you see the faces on there. You're like,
You don't want to give it
How
a
did you
2
know
for
that?
the originality?
no,
I know. I think that's great.
you're fucking
I want to watch DDT with you, and just or like BJJ, and just.
What's the match where they pour out all the tax on the man?
That's the last one.
Yeah.
No, I mean like
The famous.
In general.
that's a WWE match, but
Yeah.
like where he pours.
Oh,
it
the Hell in a
over-
Cell one you're thinking
Yeah,
of?
is that what I'm talking about? It's like that, but like way less.
Danger.
You're right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's another Easter egg.
Also, Jabali had like 2 wrestling moves the whole time. Nakazawa pouring baby oil on himself to get out of a hold was upsetting to me.
I like
Also-
that.
Do they get props? What is it? Who's
Yeah.
handing them all this shit?
No, he brought it in his underpants.
So he's got buttons with his face on them, baby oil.
No, that's 2 different dudes.
Okay. All right.
So some of the props were underneath the ring. The baby oil was in the one dude's shorts. Here's the part that got me about that part. Worse than the thing. One thing if you're going to use baby oil to get out of a hold. Worse than that was he reaches into his pants, pulls it out, holds it, gets ready, bounces off the ropes, then gets caught in a hold, and then goes and pours on himself.
so he
You were
had
too
it.
ready.
Yeah.
You were too ready. If he was stuck and his hands were down and he was all like, I can get to the baby oil.
Would you have given it a 2 if you could?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which in the battle royal, he did that, and he did pull out. It's which I
Yeah.
laughed at a lot. I like this.
And I get it as a joke.
Shit's amazing.
But it is hokey, and if you're going to be using the terms hokey to talk about other people and say we're not going to be hokey, I don't expect to see this much in the first hour. I don't. Right? And again, he was too prepared for that. If it was like in the other one where he was, oh, I got to it, and then he's able to pour it on himself, it's kind of like, oh, here's my secret weapon you didn't know about, and instead being like, oh, that spot's coming up, better get ready. I don't like that.
That's
But
sloppy.
felt sloppy.
They should have, rather than use the flamingo, they should have like used the legless dude as a weapon.
Yes.
They have a legless performer.
Yeah, and he's easy to throw.
Is he in here?
No, he's in
didn't make
he's in
it.
the battle royal. You can watch it on YouTube. It's, yeah, he's
Yeah.
immediately the heels start beating the shit out of the legless guy. I was like, he'll work.
Let's see. So then after Christopher Daniels and SEMA, because that was the
Accessibility.
that was the end of the buy-in. And I will say this: if you showed me that buy-in and then say, okay, we got 2.5 more hours of this. If you're ready to go log into a different program and watch more of this, no.
Yeah.
That's an easy pass. If you were to say it was going to cost me money to see more of this, I'd have been like,
Gotcha.
no chance. So I would say from a buy-in perspective,
So yeah.
I don't think it did. It didn't convince me to want to see more.
So all the buy-ins, we got a 3, we got a 1, and then another 3 for a good average of 2, I guess. So,
No,
yeah,
Christopher Daniels and Sema was not on the buy-in.
Oh, never mind then. So yeah, we're at a 1 and a 1 and a 3. So yeah, we're a little below 2 for you. So yeah, you're overall.
Yeah, overall that was a pretty bad buy-in.
Okay. So then yeah, the next one would be
Rio versus Nyla
Yuka
Rose
Sakai.
versus Yuka, yeah.
Yuka Salat, whatever. Yeah.
I don't like her gear. She's good.
Who,
She's
Nyla
good.
Rose?
No, Yuka.
She just needs a new.
I think it's,
new
but I think
gimmick.
I think I know why, and I think it's just because it's all the Japan stuff, and she's dressed herself to look like an anime character. And I don't know. Maybe they all kind of do. Maybe that's why I'm starting to get annoyed by
I was
it.
gonna say that, like, again, making parallels to WWE characters. I mean, a couple of them.
Asuka and Kairi Sane both kind of look
Asuka's
like
exactly what I was thinking.
they both kind of look like anime characters. But I also don't really like that Kairi Sane's doing that too. Maybe for me it's just maybe I just don't like that.
Yeah. Well, it is a thing in like Japanese female wrestling where they do that. So it's not like a
They're
just
all
a,
super small. Is that just a thing out there?
Well,
All the
they're
Japanese
a-
women wrestlers just tiny.
they're small people.
Okay.
Petite.
Petite.
No, small.
Yeah, they're just tiny.
What do we give that one?
Um,
So it sounds like
I was like,
technically they're good. It's just the
They
gimmick,
are
the gimmicks
good.
and the themes you don't like.
I will say, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the gear, but it did look good. I will say this: if this was a local show, I'd be like, oh, nice, you've put this together well. But this being at this point on this level, it's kind of like, maybe it's just not mine. But at the same time, I'm not going to take away points because I didn't like the way you're dressed, and it looked good. It looked professional. So there was all that. It's just I don't know if I want to see an anime match or an anime sponsored match. I think I would give it a 2 because of the unbelievability. The way the finish was, I didn't find it believable.
Oh.
Rio caught like a quick roll up on Nyla Rose, and I don't think that Rio has the arm strength to do that.
yeah,
And I thought it was weird that she didn't have almost any leverage on Nyla. Like, remember how Darby Allin, I sent you that clip from Instagram, how he did that thing and then with the leg and fell back? Like,
That was tight.
That is fucking leverage for a small guy getting the upper hand on a bigger guy. That was smart. This was just like a normal, like, quick roll-up with someone who I don't think had the strength to do it. And then Nyla Rose just being like,
yeah.
and then the second the 3 hits, jumps up and goes, what? And it's like, you had the strength. It just didn't feel believable.
If it was Awesome Kong doing it, or if it was Aja Kong, different.
Yeah, exactly.
But it being that and Nyla Rose they have a bigger frame. They're a bigger
Huge.
person. And they're built
Compared
as
to
this
them.
beast. Yeah, as a beast, yeah. This is one where it would be better to be faster or put them in a submission. Because you could do a submission. Yeah.
Should have been a submission win. If it was a submission win, probably would have given it a 3.
Yeah. Okay.
But overall, I would say the beginning of it was a little. The pacing of it was okay. I wasn't overly impressed with it, but it wasn't bad. And I will say the end of it is what really drew me out of it. When I was like, After that, we got MJF versus Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus. Oh no, Jungle Boy came out on Luchasaurus' shoulders.
That's the thing.
That's their thing now,
Yeah.
right?
I love it. It's a gimmick because they'll do things like, yo, you guys can't drive like that because they're in a Jeep, and it's like Luchasaurus is driving and Jungle Boy's on his shoulders.
Really?
And
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, Luchasaurus is like a dinosaur lucha, and Jungle Boy is like
Was a
little.
master.
I don't know what I expected. Now that I mean,
With a
that
master's
all
degree,
makes a lot with a master's degree.
which is a thing that I
I
was like,
wouldn't have expected that.
A master's
Every other
of pain.
component of that sounds really good.
actually, it's a master's in fucking history, which is hilarious. But he's like,
History? That's why he's a dinosaur.
well, but there's this like, hey, I have a master's degree. Like whenever there's anything, I'm like,
Does he call it a masker's degree? Because he wears a mask?
you're smarter.
Stupid.
Hey, we are talking about professional wrestling.
Adam Page won.
Adam
Okay.
Page did win.
Yeah.
Not a total surprise because it looks like that's where they're going with it.
was Jimmy
MJF
Havoc?
looked great. Jimmy Havoc, how was he? Kind of in it.
Oh,
I don't feel like he looked believable.
he's a deathmatch guy. He would be better. He would be better in like put him in things with Moxley or things with
Joey Janela.
or Darby Allin. He's a guy who like
Is Darby Allin a deathmatch guy?
Darby Allin does.
He doesn't need to. That guy is good. He's technically good.
Moxley
He's
doesn't
sound.
need to.
Moxley has no business doing it. I actually don't like that he does it.
Yeah. Joey Janela and Havoc have done it enough, and I think they're going to build to that.
I think that Joey Janela needs it because I don't think he's as fundamentally sound as the kind of wrestler you need to do the other types of matches. I think that's the only way he can get the fans invested in his matches.
The only thing I think with Joey Janela is he's very young, and I want him to get better. He's my age.
He's very young. He looks like might be his first match. His gear doesn't quite fit him right. He looks like he's never done a push-up.
I mean,
you look like you could beat the shit out of him. And
that's the best compliment I've ever gotten.
When I've walked around, like at StarCast, I walked by Jimmy Havoc and Joey Janela a bunch, and it totally turned me off to both of them. Because I was all like, they both look like little fucking punks I could beat the shit out of and kind of want to.
How many vodka cranberries would you say
they weigh?
Yeah.
100.
I bet you they're drunken too.
Wow.
No. How many empty vodka cranberries do you weigh?
Yeah. This match.
Wait, vodka cranberry. That could be including the glass. And if it was one of them heavy ass glasses, 300 vodka cranberries works.
Maybe. Yeah. I will say, so the thread I was looking at earlier, where it was talking about the post interviews and they were summarizing each one for MJF, the caption for the summarization of the interview just said, "No, you need to watch it." So apparently he had either a really good or a really controversial post-match interview.
Oh, really? I could see. Well, everyone thinks he's the best guy on the mic ever, and I don't agree. I will say he got the mic before he started. I will say typically he is good. I will say the beginning of this match started with him with the mic, and I thought he did pretty generic and kind of bad, which I felt was a little weird for him.
I want to do a comparison to WWE, but I'm not.
Talking about Miz?
No, Drew.
Oh, yeah. It felt like a Drew. It felt like a Drew. Yeah, 100%.
You remember Drew McIntyre, right? Briefly?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's back, and he's bad. His promos have lately...
You've seen him since he's been back.
Yeah.
His promos now are just
I've seen
like,
a couple with him.
I'll hurt you.
Yeah, they're all like,
I was
the
never
difference
big.
between you and me is I'll hurt you. And you're like, what?
Okay, I mean, that's kind of...
What do we give it?
I'd give it a 3 again.
Three
Didn't
again?
he have a "you're not man enough" line somewhere in there?
He said that your mom swallows.
Oh yeah, that was the thing. Which
Everyone started chanting, "You suck," and he goes, "Well, all your moms swallow." And I was like, that doesn't feel as impactful as it does to one person when you say it to 4,000.
It was better when Kurt Angle at ECW One Night Stand said, "Your mother taught me how." Because that was a better one.
That's a little funny.
Yeah.
But he just goes, your mom swallows.
yeah.
It even showed the audience at one point when he was talking. They cut like twice to the audience, and both times the audience was just like this.
Your mom swallows.
They just look like...
Don't talk about
what
my
are we doing?
mom.
They look like bored and kind of like, okay. Like, it was weird.
Yeah, I don't,
Like, don't cut to them.
that
Yeah.
definitely didn't give the reaction I think he was looking for, and it reminded me of a 14-year-old. I was like, really? Is this what I'm listening to?
His cut downs in that one felt immature.
But she does better.
He does better.
No.
I've seen him do
Surprising.
better. But and it felt in this world, in this specific show, I don't think it was his best. I don't know about the post interview. Maybe that was great. Maybe he really stepped it up for that. It could be. I don't know. And I know that I'm biased against him because he's only been in the industry for 3 years, and I'm kind of like, I don't know how much I'm into a 3-year-old guy just running up to the top and not impressing me in his matches a lot. He does the smart heel shit though. Like there was a part in the match where Hangman Page is pinning Jimmy Havoc, and and MJF's on the outside of the ring, goes over to the edge of the ring and takes Jimmy Havoc's foot and puts it on the rope and goes, "Ref." So the ref sees that and stops it, and he goes, "I'm not gonna go in the ring
And do work.
Yeah." He's all like, "No." And so it was like one of those like smart ass like, fuck you, dude. And it was good.
Good.
That was a good way to get some heat on
Potential
there.
there, maybe.
Yeah, and smart.
I think he could do more too, because I think I'm kind of like so he comes out with a scarf, which I think is a reference to Jericho because Vince hates scarves.
It's a
And so I'll
Burberry
put-
scarf.
And it's a Burberry scarf. But I want him to do
Fucking
more.
ugly.
I want him to do more dumbass, like I have money things. Like he has the butler, but do more like come out like a tool. Like I want him to dress in like.
For myself.
Did you-
Yeah, I did a thing, and I did a bad thing.
He made me my nose bleed last time.
No, it's good. I'm good. Oh, I punched him in the nose last time.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're doing
Mitch and my nose bleeds easy.
the.
So I would say a 3. I will say this, seeing that too, I think no matter whether or not Hangman Page gets the title or not in the Jericho match, the thing he's doing afterwards is an MJF rivalry, and I think they're gonna have a long storied rivalry, the two of them. They seem to be building that a lot. I do think that it's starting to make me believe that MJF may cost Hangman Page the title, and then start that, so then MJF can try to get towards Jericho. But at that point, who's the heel in there? But and maybe they'll do stuff that doesn't matter. Maybe they'll do it in a way where it's like, hey, yeah, you can have two heels. You know, we're gonna be different. Might as well, right?
I think it'd be good with two heels. Like I think it has more potential for the story than two faces.
I do agree with that 100%. I think that it's easier to cheer for the heel you hate the least than it is to boo the heel you like the least.
Beer before liquor, never been sicker.
You're a goddamn idiot.
Dirty myth.
So
It is.
clips are on the side right there.
Oh, there they are.
Yep. Right there. Date.
Okay.
So I that's where I think it's going. And like we said before, I think Jericho should not be their first champion. I think Hangman Page should be, but I'm starting to think.
I think Jericho should be not doing this.
Yeah, I agree.
Jericho's really not. I love Jericho,
Oh,
but
here it is.
we've talked about this a few times. Is Jericho's. He's a 50-year-old dude coming back, and it feels like it.
He's a 50-year-old mid-carder coming back and demanding top card.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should run for president or something instead.
Ooh, I'd vote.
Yeah.
I will say this, I'm so disappointed in the way that he's treated the fans as of late in the whole thing that I'm not buying tickets to a show when he comes to town.
Really?
He's canceled like 2 different appearances at this point that just for storyline purposes, and so I'm like, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to put money towards something that I don't believe the guy's willing to show up.
Sure.
I want to say this, just as a recommendation from one of our viewers, Peter. I don't want you to drink all this.
You fucking tell me how to live my life.
Peter always said, "Yo, he's really going through them." Like, yeah, I know.
Oop, whoa, that was messy.
Got some. Want to drink, champ?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a cup
in
there.
front of me. It'd be pretty embarrassing for me to.
To not use it, here you go. Let's get you some ice.
Yeah, I'd like this.
Let's see. So after that one was Darby Allin versus Cody Rhodes. Yeah, is that the next one on your thing?
Time limit draw.
We went to a time limit draw. I think this match, far and away the best match on the card again. I think Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin stole the show. Parts of this match reminded me of Bret Hart versus 1-2-3 Kid in '94. Where here was a guy who was a little more established, bigger in build than the other guy, and here he was being out-wrestled by a smaller guy at times, and you could see it visibly impressing and confusing the bigger guy, right? I saw a little bit of that in here too, so like there's a moment in the Bret Hart one that you can see as a GIF from time to time, where where 1-2-3 Kid does a couple of like arm drags and knocks Bret on his ass, and Bret, when he hits, rolls towards the camera, and he's looking away from 1-2-3 Kid, but he goes like this. He's all like, and he does this kind of like, oh, okay, we're wrestling, you know? Yeah, I didn't think that. I wasn't expecting that, you know? And so then he kind of gets up like, okay, and then they kind of square up again, and I felt like a lot of that with this as well with Cody and Darby. So I feel like Cody, his matches since he got to AEW have impressed me every time. And prior to him getting to AEW, felt like a letdown. Something in him has clicked, and he's doing like classic wrestling.
Yeah.
He's going out there. His psychology is on point. Like, I don't have a complaint about this match. Like, watching it, I critique stuff all the time, and I go, that could have been better. This could have been that. And sometimes I'm like, I'll tell you this one thing about the match. But this one, I was like, this was fucking perfect with these two dudes. And then the psychology of the time limit draw happening. It was funny, actually, when we were watching it, me and Kevlar, during the match, like during that match, because we'd heard it in a few other matches, 10 minutes remaining, and you hear him do an announcement over the top. And the first time we heard it, in a prior match, I forget which one, it might have been Christopher Daniels or something. And Kevlar's like, oh, I like that. I like they brought the time limits back. And I was like, me too, I've always liked the time limits. And then during this match, they do it again. And then he asks if they'd gone to a time limit draw yet. And we're watching this match. And I was like, not yet, no. And then at the end of the match, he goes, what the fuck? And I was like, well, it hadn't happened yet. Can I get a water? It's 1,000 degrees out here, I've decided.
Remember when you didn't want any fans? because you said it'd be fine.
It's so noisy.
Water?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, did you finish this one too?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Thank
got
you.
ice in there already.
Fridge,
So,
yeah.
so this match was absolutely perfect. Stole the show to me. I think everyone should watch this match. This match made me. So Darby Allin came to town a couple days later. Came here and wrestled. I really wanted to go see it, but I had worked a long shift. It was a late show, and I ended up falling asleep. But
Is there a reason it wasn't a buy-in match? Is it just because it's got
Well, the
some bigger names in
yeah.
there? Yeah.
yeah, I will say this about the way they do it is
I know everybody's going to come. Yeah.
this show, similar to the last show, in a lot of respects, was building each match was kind of better than the last match. I will say Double or Nothing was a little bit better at that, of each match being significantly better than the one before it. And I will say that's kind of how you want to build a card. You want people to want to stay watching. I will say if they put Darby Allin and Cody on the buy-in, what one of those three shit shows are you going to put in its place in the actual pay-per-view, right? So I wouldn't have wanted that. I do think this could have closed the show easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the psychology of them saying that the time ran out. They did the whole down to 3 seconds too. You hear him counting down 10, 5, 4, whatever. Cody gets the crossroads, and then he's like struggling to get on top of him, and they say 3, and then right at 2 he gets on top of him, and then the ref does 1 as he says 2, does 2 as he says 1, and then bing, bing, bing. Sorry, you ran out of time. You didn't have that last second you needed. And Cody's like, 5 minutes, you just need 5 minutes. And like begging the timekeeper, gotta give me 5 minutes. And that's when Shawn Spears comes out, hits him with an unprotected chair shot, busts him wide open. He looked shaky. Brandy looked scared as fuck. And it looked like they were both like actually scared because there was a lot of blood. It was gashed open pretty bad. Yeah. And you could see like Cody's like,
Shit.
yeah,
Shouldn't have done that.
yeah, when you see him to go get out of the ring, he goes to lean on a rope and he like can't, and then he just like goes down and like rolls underneath it. Like you see him try to hold himself up on the rope and he can't, and he's just like,
That's a
you can
concussion.
tell he got like, well,
Yeah.
they're saying it wasn't a concussion, so maybe he just really got his bell rung on it, but
Yeah, that's a concussion.
I feel like
So 4, 5?
Let's do this Belcher style. 6.5. Don't compare it to WWE in doing this.
I'm not comparing it to his last
You
match.
haven't named a negative thing about the match.
yeah.
So how do you detract it down to a 4?
I think I would give it a 5. I think I would have to. Like, I'm trying to think if there's a reason to not give it a 5. So I'm trying to think. Was there something in it I would have done different? I think Brandy did great in that match. I don't typically like seeing her ever, but she was doing a thing where, 5 minutes, Cody, 5 minutes. Like she's yelling times at him too, and it starts getting you invested in like, oh, they are running out of time. Like they did a really good job of keeping everyone in there, and this was a perfect example of how someone can get someone else over without losing or winning, right? Cody didn't win, Darby didn't lose. Cody got Darby over, and no one gets the loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought this was just absolutely perfect. That's how you do that. And it made me super invested in Darby. I was like, wow, this guy's awesome. In the first like 2 or 3 minutes of the match, they were doing a lot of mat wrestling, like amateur style groundwork. I was blown away by Darby during that because Cody's got an amateur background, so you expect that from him. And you could see Darby grabbing him, twisting around, looking over, seeing some other limb and reaching, grabbing it. And it's like, they weren't like, there was never a moment where you saw like, well, why wouldn't you just punch him? Well, his arm, why wouldn't you grab that arm? There was never any of that where it was all like, they're thinking faster than you. And you're like, oh my God, I wouldn't have even grabbed that. You know what I mean? Like it was great.
Well, you can grab that.
Yeah, you would.
Damn right.
All right, 5 it is. Is there a ceremony that you observe before we start here? Is it like a cheers or?
Oh yeah, we cheers.
Cheers?
We don't cheers clump.
He doesn't choose me, but you can be better than him, Matt Brown.
Yeah, man, Brandon, I would never cheers clump.
Cheers, buddy.
Oh, I'm a piece of shit. Clump looks like a testicle. After that would be the Lucha Brothers and Laredo Kid.
The Elite.
Wait,
The Elite
yes.
defeats the Lucha Brothers and the
Boom.
Kid, yeah.
yeah.
Got my elite shirt on.
He's not even in it.
Yeah, no, he's not even on the fucking event or the
Elite?
company. No, Marty Skrull.
Already scroll.
Yeah,
He's part of the Elite and he's
Says
not
they
part
won.
of the
How are they not in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just haven't worn this shirt yet, okay?
I would say, I think this match highlights everything that their hardcore base loves about their company
Spots.
and highlights everything that I think is an issue with the
So
company.
people who aren't on the hook yet would have a big. Why is that? Explain that.
Spots.
It was how do the wrestlers in this match come off like, how do I make myself look good at all times? How do I do something cool? How do I do something impressive? And it's never about how does this match look? How does this match play out? How do we get the match over? How do we get somebody else over? There's no thought, or
No,
it seems like
continuity.
no continuity in it, no psychology in it, it's that everybody seems so self-centered in their approach to the match, where you just had a match with Darby and Cody where it was the exact opposite. How do I make Cody look good? Cody's how do I make Darby look good? If I can make them look good, I look good by wrestling them, right? That's the whole Bret thing. Bret Hart's a legend because everyone he wrestled was amazing. But it turns out he wrestled a ton of people who were terrible.
And he made it look good.
They all looked amazing. So we had no idea this whole time, right? So this is one where these people have no concept of how to make a match tell a story from top to bottom. It is how do we get in there? How do we get to this spot? How do I do this? Oh, I need to make sure I do that. And it almost looks like they go to the ref beforehand and say, just stay out of the way, let me do what I want to do. Because at no point does the ref say, you're breaking a rule. Does the ref ever count on something that should be counted on? Do the spots have to make sense? They did a Hadouken, and the other three guys sold it, and they made no contact. They sold it the whole way. So all three of the elite go, boom, and the other three go, bah, they fall back, and they lay there, oh, fuck.
Well, I'll say this. So, the people in the event are at a gaming convention.
Yes, I get that spot. It was pandering to that
That's
audience,
like you said.
But
and I get it, and it was funny, but
maybe it goes back to this would be a really cool house show to not put up on pay-per-view or say this is a house show and go into this is a house show. We just want to tell you guys this is going to be kind of silly because they all have done that. The Young Bucks versus the Golden Lovers in Japan was a fantastic tag match where it wasn't spot driven.
yes, this is the best match you'll see on any independent wrestling card. I was hoping not to just see independent wrestling here today.
Producer just wanted to also point out that the announcers had to point that out to JR, the move, and
The Hadouken move?
yes.
There was a few things they had to point out to him.
I'd love to.
And I just thought it was very isolating. I knew what they were going for, but the fact that you have to tell JR what that's referring to was
At one
not
point, JR
sad.
says that Kenny Omega looks weird.
To be fair, he kind of does.
You know
But I
how
was
there's
like,
always like a character in a movie that you're supposed to like relate to and like learn the story through because they're way out of their depth, and maybe that's what they're going for with the announcer. Like, did you ever see Fury?
I don't think
Tank
so.
movie with Brad Pitt in it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the kid Norman, you're supposed to like see the whole movie through him because you're like, I'm not a soldier. I don't know what the hell these guys are going through. Maybe that's what they're going for through the announcer. You know,
With
the
JR.
announcer's just like,
Your guess is as good as
Huh?
mine, guys.
and we're supposed to be like, yeah, I'm with him. What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that could be a vehicle, a device through
That could-
which they
could
illustrate
be.
their.
This is another one where the opponents assist their nemesis in accomplishing a move against themselves a lot. So they'll do stuff where, like, so there's one where, like, the Laredo Kid is jumping on, or just is holding up Matt. This happened like twice. Holding up one of the Jackson's arms while he gets up onto one of the ropes. He slips and falls. Laredo Kid catches him and holds him, and then he gets up, and then Laredo Kid balances him, so he can then do a move to his partner. And you're like, if this is simulated combat, if I'm supposed to believe in this at all, fucking yank him down. That's the bad guy. Like, you don't want to help him beat up your partner.
Maybe they should almost create a point system where, like, look, if you're gonna do spots, let's do this like figure skating.
Yeah.
All right, so really quick because I apparently didn't charge my iPad. Let's give this one a score and then
The
give me
next
the
one
score for the next one without any reason why. That way I can submit it and we can see the results, and then you can tell me why you felt the way about the last one. But what would we give the elite winning over?
I want to give it I want to give it a 4 because of how good they all were, but because of the absolute lack of psychology in that match, I'd have to give it a 3.
Okay.
Why do I stop smoking this?
All right, and then the final one, and we'll talk about it afterwards, was Jon Moxley
And Joey Janela.
and Joey Janela. Real quick, hot take. What do you give it? With no explanation.
I'd have to give it a 3 again.
Another 3? Okay. All right,
Yeah.
so I'm going to submit this real quick, just so we can compare. All right. So, 80% of voters gave the Best Friends defeating SoCal Uncensored and Private Party a 4.
Hmm.
Yeah. We gave it a 3.
3,
Yeah.
yeah.
Third, that was the next highest. 24% of people gave it a. Yeah, looks like we were pretty in line. So Allie defeating Leva Bates, 51% or 41% of voters gave it a 1.
Yeah.
49 people or 39% of voters gave it a 2. Pretty in line there.
Yeah.
One person give it 1 or give it 5.
Yeah, her mom.
Michael Nakazawa,
See, he's in LA.
He's doing it.
35% gave it a 1. 37% gave it a 2.
Yeah, I think I was being pretty generous in my 2. I felt like, but
Seema defeating Chris Daniels, 66% give it a 3. 24% a 4.
yeah, I could see that. It's a sound match.
I think that's if people knew about it.
Yep.
Rio, 48% gave it a 4.
Really? Wow.
34% gave it a 3.
And again, I remember I gave it a 3 because of the
Yeah,
finish.
Right.
So
So that might have just been people not really
Not caring.
weighing the finish as much, yeah. The Adam Page defeating Jimmy Havoc, Jungle Boy, and MJF. 46% of voters gave it a 4. 44 a 3.
that's kind of what I would expect. These are pretty popular guys.
Yeah. Yeah, so pretty in line too with the time limit draw for Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes. We got 54% of people giving it a 4 and 28% the next highest at a 5.
Yeah. And I can see it. I think some people are also like, no match is perfect. I
Yeah,
know something,
could be.
but
That teacher at school.
yeah.
You said you wanted to give this one a 4, and so did 46% of other people. So 46% gave the Elite, the Lucha Brothers, and the Lucha Brothers, and
A 4?
yeah, 4. And
Oh,
then
that's-
the next 36% gave it a 5.
Okay, I was gonna say I'd expect a lot more people.
So
to try
you
and give it a
well,
5.
and you preface that right that the fan base would really
Their
this would-
core
this
fan
would-
base that's there.
it
This
would
is
really
there.
appeal to them.
Yeah.
We gave the last one a 3. Only 12% of people gave it a 3. 42% gave it 4, and 43% gave it 5. So we didn't talk about that one. So
Yeah.
tell me why.
So I think the reason, and that's not a surprise at all either. Everyone's just so excited to have Moxley in AEW,
Yeah.
and just it doesn't matter what he does right now, as long as he doesn't literally kill someone. Which I don't even, that might make him a legend to these people. I think, like, I'm trying to think, what could he do in the ring that would make people go, okay, that's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that he can do anything wrong right now to most of their fan base right now. Because he just came out of WWE.
But he is doing good work.
He
He's
is.
working.
He's great. I don't think anyone's willing to critique him because I think that he is exactly what that core audience wants right now. He just came out of WWE, and the first thing he did was put out 2 long interviews shitting on WWE. These guys love that. This fan base right now is all like, fuck yeah, he's one of us. He fucking hates them. Now he's going to come here and be amazing. So everything he comes over here and does, as long as he's as good as he was or even slightly worse, which I don't think he was, it's perfect. Fucking perfect. He's who he's always meant to be. This is who he should have been in WWE. This is everything that WWE did wrong, is not let him do this. My complaint is that this is what he wants to do, man. Like, the deathmatch stuff, he doesn't have to do. Most of the people who do for one, I think deathmatch era is over. I think those matches are dead. I think that the reason the ECW was so big was it was during a time when kayfabe was on the balance there, and it was what's real, what's fake, who's hardcore. Those were the conversations happening. WCW looked faker than WWF, but ECW was hardcore. You can't fake that. These are real guys. The ones I watch are real, and so that's where death matches and the ECW and the hardcore matches really got their rise, was in proving that what they do is real. We can't talk about them, but what we do is real, because you can't fake razor blades. I don't think that I think kayfabe is so dead that there's no use for that now. There's no point in saying I'm hardcore there is a point in saying that you are having particularly tough matches, and I think that the level at which you do it has a lot to say about it. I do like that they didn't get super bloody. They didn't use light tubes, I'm happy about. They did thumbtacks and regular barbed wire, not the razor wire. They did flimsy tables, which I liked. So like I said before, I think Moxley's in a position where he can go over there and change death matches to be safer and tell a better story.
Yeah.
Because I think he's equipped to do that. But ultimately, I don't like that Moxley is doing the death matches because it gives them validity, and I don't think they need that. I think that it's going to get people hurt. I also don't think that Joey Janela was holding up his end, right? I think that Moxley was performing circles around him, and it looked like Joey Janela really wasn't sure what he was doing, but he knows how to look. He knows how to take a hit, right? I know how to bleed.
I'm good at being punched.
Yeah, and so you can get muted. We can mute him. We don't know which mic is whose.
There we go. Hopefully that should be it.
But that's why I wouldn't give it a 5, because Joey Janela was not great, but he bled when he was supposed to, and he hit stuff and screamed, but he didn't do anything impressive. Moxley was always super protecting him, and it was really cool to see. He did massive moves where it was all like, Joey, just don't get in my way. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
He did this one where he holds him up and then goes to throw him in the thumbtacks, and instead of like slamming him down or something, he did this over rotation of Joey. So as he is flying and flipping, he lands on his side and back where his head's still kind of up, which
Yeah.
is perfect. It's super safe because he's going to land in the right way. And it's one of those things where it's like, if you try to take control of this bump, you could hurt yourself. Just let me do it. And he's strong enough to, I can get you there
'Cause he's a
safely.
big fucking guy.
He's a big fucking dude, and he knows what he's doing, and he's been wrestling with other big fucking dudes. He knows how to take care of someone. And I feel like this match was all that. Mox taking care of Joey, helping Joey look tough. I think Moxley just wants to go back to what he knows got him to the party to begin with, back before WWE. I don't want to see Validity go back to the death matches. I don't want people to say, like, watch this death match and look how good this is. But he also didn't overdo it.
Well, I think it's death matches. I like death matches sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's good death matches, like Cactus Jack did great death matches, Terry Funk did good death matches, Sabu did good death matches. And they did it where the blood's the part, but you also aim for parts of like the core. Even in CZW, when they would do horrible things like John Moxley got hit in the stomach with a fucking weed eater, which looks horrible, and you bleed, but you're hitting this area, and it's just surface cuts. Because a weed eater, like a gas powered weed eater with thin line, is just going to cut you. It's not going to like rip holes in you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, and it could be good because I mean, it's, I don't want to say an art form, but there's a talent to doing it where it looks really gruesome and stuff, and it can be funny, and
It's got to look worse than it actually is, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes the shit is worse than it looks.
yes, like in Mexico where
Yeah.
there's a death match where dude they had gimmicked bricks, and he threw a non-gimmicked brick to hit someone in the fucking side of the head, and match over, guys go to the hospital, he's got a skull fracture.
Yeah, and
But-
that's one where it is worse than it looks. You
But
know?
they could have gone for comedy here. Like, there's a great death match I loved where they had, like, basically in the middle of the ring, they had bug zappers. They had, like, the Rubbermaid scissors attached things, and it was bad. And then in the middle, the guy goes and grabs, and he pulls out lemons. And squeezes lemons on
Did
them,
he
guys.
pull it out of his underwear?
Oh,
No, but, like, there's a
Did he
barrel.
pull it out right before he was going to
yeah, early.
cut him with
Yeah.
his scissors?
They
Or
did use a foot. Someone from the audience handed a prosthetic
damn it.
leg to Joey, and Joey looks and he's like, and grabs it and then like hits Mox with the shoe part, and then gives it back to them. And I was like, that's cool, that's fun.
Yeah.
But like,
Salt. Someone threw salt at someone.
I also think that death matches are best when they're led to through like a Hell in a Cell. Gets there because this rivalry's been going so nuts and it's getting out of
yeah.
control, right? I think that you do the same thing with a death match. You lead to non-sanctioned, you know, these no holds barred things. You lead to that, and this almost feels like we have to get these out now before we're on TNT.
Yeah. And if we were going to do that, then go all out. And I would like to see someone. I'm going to bring out some goddamn light tubes. Yeah.
The C4 matches that you've shown me.
Yeah. Piranha deathmatch.
I mean, and that's my complaint about it is that it was weapons for the sake of weapons, blood for the sake of blood. It didn't feel like a ton of psychology. It was, here's this new kid who's brand new and does death matches because he's not a good wrestler. here's a seasoned vet, amazing wrestler who has a hardcore background who's going to beat the shit out of the kid, and that's kind of what it came off like. And it was a little like.
Well, I guess keep in mind this is the last match, right? So they're really trying to
but
top it off.
Yeah.
And in that case, then I would say if you're gonna top it off, go all out. Like, and I'm not saying like it's good, but if you're gonna do this be an unsanctioned death match kind of style, then do it. Don't make it this. Give it a thing where if you like give Joey an ability to have offense by doing things with weapons, vice versa. Like, and it may not be something like that everyone wants to see, but if you're gonna create this as your thing, then do it. Don't half-ass it. You know?
100%. I do think. I feel like, are we just not getting chatted at? Did Keith never come back? Keith, you left us for dead.
Keith, I'm sorry and I love you.
Where does he live, man? I mean,
Virginia?
I feel like I'm gonna die being out here smoking, so maybe.
Yeah, I'm like
maybe
dizzy.
he died doing the same thing.
I'm kinda
he
dizzy
may have
right
died. But what was I about to say about it? The other thing about it being that it was officially an unofficial match, so it was technically not the final match. That shit was getting on my nerves. Because this is the other deal. For Mox to come out and do all that bucking, I don't want to do hokey shit.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to watch this with Moxley. It would be nice to watch this whole thing, including the buy-in, and be like, defend that! You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to shit on everybody else. But at the same time, so they said that this was an unsanctioned match. AEW, they said, wanted nothing to do with this, which they can't want nothing to do with it if they air it. And they said that it was...
And Turner wanted nothing to do with it, but was on their platform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was unofficial. It was unsanctioned. AEW, it is not part of the AEW show. This was not part of FyterFest. But how do you watch it? You go to FyterFest and you watch that. And then they said when the lights go out, that will be the end of our show. When the lights come back on, we'll have one more match for you, one final match. And I was like, I wish they'd even used the term an isolated match. Pretend it's not a part of it. But you said it was going to be our last. We have one last match for you. We had all those matches. This is another one. I wish they had said we're going to have an isolated match. Not a part of it. I wish they came out to no music or lights. Make it feel like AEW's like, no, it's not ours. But AEW put their logos on the back. They came out to their music. They had an official AEW referee. It was like the lights going out and coming back on was like like you trying to light a cigar. Just real quick. And it was like,
Trying to light a cigar.
yeah. It just felt a little hokey in that respect that this is unsanctioned and AEW wants nothing to do with it, and AEW was all fucking over it. And I just wish that they had said something else. Don't say unsanctioned, don't say AEW, just call it like the... I know it would be shitty to do because WWE says it, but saying it's like a holds harmless match or saying a non-liable match and have a whole little video in the back where they're signing away the liability to AEW.
And then have them cover up the... or go for like, cool, we're going to go redo, like, have the match come out, have a ring crew come out, give us some time, have us go over this and say like, hey, we're going to go over, and then we'll have promo and talk about new people that are in this and other people, and then what we'll do is, while it's happening, ring crews covering up the logos.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and cover them up shitty. Put like duct tape over the logo in the middle, so it's just like, hey, like make it obvious. But then at least I would have been like, well, that's cool. AEW is not a part of it, and like.
Yeah.
How long have they been a thing, AEW?
They've been January.
January is when they announced themselves. They put on 2 shows since
Probably
then.
got some time to
They do.
find some polish.
They do. We're talking about polish. You guys didn't see it. Every single graphic on the bottom with their names and the @ signs, blurry.
Really?
Very blurry, hard to read.
Resolutions all off and everything?
Yep. I got upset and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with my projector? I went over there, I'm trying to refocus it, and she's like, it looks fine, it's good. I was like, no, look at it, I can't read any of that. Finally, I was like, well, the guy in the ring looks clear, I guess that's good enough. Watched it over at Kevlar's house
Same
on his
thing.
HD TV, fucking blurry on the bottom. I was like, look!
Well,
little
And your
things like that for a
projector
new organization, I guess.
Yeah,
10 feet by, I don't know,
it's like 11 by 6 feet.
11 by 6.
11 feet by 6 feet.
What's your story?
2 by
Oh,
2 or 5 feet.
Ice cube.
Well, we could say like, I think we should say this is how good our production is here. We don't have blurry graphics, guys.
No, it's clear when you read the bottom.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to see my Twitter account, legible.
Can't figure it out.
Legible.
Hold on.
Easy to read. Timely. Always quick.
How come?
It's there.
There it goes. All right.
As long as Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
JR was saying a lot of things that I think were off script, and as well as the other commentators, at least 2 or 3 times they made a comment to the effect of, I hope no one dies here and hope no one gets killed, and I did a does anyone know that JR witnessed Owen's death in the ring? Because
that is a little...
I was so confused.
Yeah.
Do you think he's playing on that? Like, oh, he wouldn't say that unless he was serious because he's seen it before. You know what I mean? Like maybe.
Well, he didn't say it. Excalibur did. Excalibur said if they do the things they said they're going to do, someone's going to die. We could see someone die.
You can't see the announcers, right? So you don't know if JR looked over and I'm like, fuck, dude.
One time you could see him.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he give him a look?
He was like,
Or
but
did
I will
he
say
just
that,
scratch his head a little bit? Like,
yeah.
Jesus Christ, guys.
I will say this too.
Lean into it. JR.
As far as seeing the announcers, there was a bunch of times they just cut to the announcers and JR saying stuff and you see him go like,
Why?
we're getting a lot of signals here. Things are going crazy. So like someone's like over there just being like sign language and he's all like, that doesn't mean anything. Like,
Me.
yeah, it was like our old producer style.
It's better than the last
What
time.
does that mean?
Did you ever see JR's last match in NJPW?
Where you get hit?
No. Well, yeah, but he just went off. Like he went off script. Him and the other guy were not communicating well. They were pissed off at each other. And it's funny because the Japanese commentary team were just like super cool, normal, and then like them even like shitting on the show like this is not great.
Yeah.
I'm done. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, they seemed like they were really sure what was going on. There was a number of times cameras were just on stuff, and you're like, what am I looking at? There was one spot during the Lucha Brothers match where it shows a Jackson and Ciedo Mero
Penta
on the outside, and it's just on them, and you hear slapping and moves in the ring. And it's just on them. And I was like,
See a
what?
leg fly.
And then it just cuts back to the ring, and you see someone like, and the other person's grabbing something. Like, I missed something.
Yeah.
You know, like I heard it.
And what match was it where they missed the jump outside the ring entirely?
That was the Private Party match. There was Private Party gets on the second rope and springboards himself like backwards into the people, but the shot stayed on the ring, so you see him go like, just out of frame. He just jumps and that's it. He's gone. And then it cuts over and there's people laying down outside, and he comes running back in. And I was like, I actually like the idea.
Shades of Owen Hart.
Yeah.
JR.
Yeah.
It's like the WWE fired the people that we always heard about and saw bad camera, and then we know where they went.
So I do say that I expect that stuff to get better over time. I felt like overall this was an average show.
You did give a lot of
You
threes.
said they put on 2, including this one?
Double or Nothing, I think,
How do you
was
feel?
better.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was going to ask. Like, how do you feel compared to the first show?
The first one I think was better.
It was a pay-per-view. This is a house show, and they need to say that. It's we talked about like WWE making.
They called it a pay-per-view. Tony Khan said it was a pay-per-view.
and
In
it's a house
post interviews, he said this is a pay-per-view because they asked him, "Is this going to be what we should expect to see on TNT?" And he goes, "No. This was a pay-per-view. We treated this like a pay-per-view. This is not going to be our weekly show. We're not going to be having blood and cursing and middle fingers on our weekly show."
Gross.
They're already like pulling back on all the things they said they would
Yeah.
do. But he was all like, no. Pay-per-view. This is a pay-per-view.
I'm the
It was
billionaire.
free, but it's pay-per-view.
Family show.
Yeah.
Meant to be aired.
With an unprotected chair shot to
Good
the head.
Christian suburbs.
TNT fired Dustin Rhodes when WCW was on because he got color when he shouldn't have. He bled. He cut himself, and they told him not to.
Please
He
fire
bled
Sean
during the
Spears.
match and gone fired.
Please fire Sean Spears.
Whew. Oh, that would make me happy.
Whole other.
Yeah. That's Ty
the old-
Dillinger.
Yeah, I hate that fuck. Me and Ty Dillinger, we got heat.
Yeah.
Fuck you, dude. He could beat the shit out of me. He's not like Joey Janela where I wouldn't be afraid to fight him. I would not want to fight Ty Dillinger, Sean Spears.
Hey.
But at the same time, fuck you, because you can't see me
Ty Dillinger's, you got an open invite to my backyard.
to beat the shit out of me.
Well,
Sasha retweeted his gym he opened up in Florida.
Yeah, he's doing a training facility with, I think it's him and Tyler Breeze, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, the
Tylers.
two of them.
The Tylers.
Yeah, the
Only
Tylers.
Tylers can come. We have a new place for Tyler
Yeah.
G and Tyler.
I will say
Okay.
this: out of everyone in the WWE who left, or like who could train, I wouldn't go if it was Ty Dillinger.
Oh, yeah.
If you told me almost anyone else was training, I'd be like, that's cool. If you're like Ty Dillinger's training, I'd be like, But I think that the saddest part about this whole show is that unprotected chair shot happened and it took away from the rest of the show. After the Jon Moxley and Joey Janela spot, tell me if you even found this anywhere, because I never saw anyone talk about it. Kenny Omega comes out and beats the shit out of Jon Moxley.
Nope, didn't know it.
For minutes. For several minutes. Beats him up with a fucking guitar, with a trash can. He takes drumsticks, again, not hokey, and drums on the thing, on the drum set that's there, and then goes and drums on Jon Moxley. Not hokey. Although I will say this, in Moxley's defense, he was like, "Get the fuck off of me."
Fuck off with this dumb
Yeah,
shit.
he was like, "Get the fuck," and he grabbed one and threw it. So I was like, well, at least he's like not putting up with it. But at the same time,
That's the moment I turned to you and I said, that is so stupid.
Yeah.
This looks so dumb.
that's stupid. But at the same time, Kenny Omega came out to get retribution on Jon Moxley, and no one is talking about it. I think one of the saddest things about AEW right now is they courted Kenny Omega with as little effort as they needed to, because he was always going to go there.
Yep.
He was supposed to come in as the biggest star that they have. This whole show is built around him, Young Bucks, and Jericho. He's the one
Cody.
person.
Cody.
He's the one person after 2 shows that no one is talking about from either show.
Yep.
He doesn't feel like a top star over there. This is the one person, and it sounds probably stupid because how would either any of us know? This is an impossible to know thing. My speculation, I think if he had signed with WWE, he'd be a bigger star in WWE now than he is in AEW now. I don't know about longevity. There's definitely room for him to pick up speed again in AEW. But I think that AEW would have brought in Kenny Omega like they brought in AJ and took him straight to the top, because I think that he had so much heat behind him. There was no way to not go with that. He was the world's biggest free agent. And then here they are in AEW and no one's talking about him. And I think that's so sad. But at the same time, we got time for him to pick up stuff. My brother speculates that once he gets a title, he'll start to get that heat again.
Yeah.
I wish he didn't need a title to do it, man.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
But he does now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what sucks. He didn't before.
Yeah.
Before he was bigger than that. Now it feels like, no, he's probably going to need a title to get that big again.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think that's all I really have to say about the show overall, was that I was sad that the headshot took away from the Darby and Cody match, because no one's talking about Darby. And God, was he good. So good. Him and the Cody match was amazing. No one's talking about Omega getting his retribution. No one's talking about if Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega are going to have a match ever. No one seems to care. I wish people did. No one's talking about Christopher Daniel Sema. People are shitting all over the Librarian, which I like. But I think the biggest problem I have with it is that they're overshadowing the wrong things.
Yeah.
You know? There's still a lot of time, and I think that so much of the stuff can go away when I have a weekly show. I think we're watching a lot of growing pains right now.
Yeah.
And I think they can definitely sort it out. I think we can definitely get on the right
Give that
track.
context.
Yeah. Give me context. Make me care. Make me want to care.
Yeah.
You guys are having a real tough time on it right now. I just watched a free show and wasn't sure if I got my money's worth.
What do you think if they can't afford to do weekly for a variety of different reasons? Like, what was the time between the two?
Well, between this one and the next one's
month.
2 weeks.
Okay.
Between this one and the one before was a month.
Yep.
Okay,
But they do
so
have a TNT deal.
Yeah, like a consistency issue too. Then I would say.
That's true.
Like
It
if they
wasn't-
did it consistently bi-weekly, I feel like they wouldn't have as many issues.
Put a match
Even
that
if they
will.
can't do it weekly.
Shadow King just tuned in. Dude, you missed the whole show. We've been outside.
Outside.
We were trying out the American Rebel cigars.
I'm about to throw up.
AmericanRebel.com. AmericanRebelCigars.com, actually.
I
We-
put
we
it
t-
up there.
We told Eric
Oh.
to inhale his first cigar as a joke.
It was Clump's
don't feel
first
fantastic.
cigar ever, and it was an American Rebel.
I've been eating today. I've been working outside. I had a cigar. I had a little bit of water. I
You
inhaled.
feel good. He feels good. He feels great because it's American Rebel cigars. We're looking for a sponsorship from American Rebel or cease and desist. They are our unwitting sponsor. They don't know that I put this up every week. and that I bought their cigars and pretended they gave it to us.
If I'm
I
not
paid for
on this week's show, Shadow King, it's because I've died from whatever I've done today.
Yeah.
I'll take a Shiner sponsor.
Ooh, yeah, get a
Honestly,
Shiner
yeah, why not?
sponsor.
You missed the show.
Hell yeah, why not?
Can we do a non-alcoholic sponsor? This Yeti cup is fantastic, and all Yeti products has
Yo,
always been
Yeti
very
is
happy.
nice.
Sponsored by
Imagine a
O'Doul's.
Yeti cup for my whiskey,
They have that.
right?
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
I will say this, Shadow King, we did go through FyterFest. Clump didn't watch it. We're just at Matt Brown's house, so we thought we should put him in.
There's a courtesy.
And Matt Brown is the special guest appearance. The hashtag I'm a Matt Brown. It's
Hashtag
up there.
I'm Matt Brown.
I don't expect anybody to actually know what that is.
Hashtag I'm Matt Brown.
If you watch the Royal Rumble from this year,
Check out
You-
2019 Royal Rumble.
Rumble, this
They're gonna-
dude, second row, there's a lady with a purple shirt in front of him that's much more noticeable.
Blue shirt, green
Blue
glasses.
I am
There
wearing
is
blue
a
shirt.
Matt Brown emoji up for so much of that
We're
show.
working on merchandise, right?
This guy.
We've got AirPods cases.
We got
so
an
far.
AirPods case. We got, hashtag I'm Matt Brown. Oh, I should have given you one you could put
Oh,
up.
yeah.
You got
Here
your
we go.
cup. Oh,
There we go.
he does have it on him
Here.
at all times.
Looks nothing like me.
It looks just like him, dude. Matt Brown is right here. Hashtag I'm Matt Brown. Put up your hand. It's him.
Who are you talking to?
Hashtag I'm Matt Brown.
If you ever get anemia, this is how we can identify you.
Yeah, mine was more
Yours is
pale
all
than yours.
faded already. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
been using it for a while.
Well, no. I got both of them. One was faded and one wasn't. I was like, well, I'm not
Mine's-
going to give him the faded one.
Shadow King said, "Who is Matt Brown?"
Yeah, this is
That's
Matt
what
Brown.
I'm saying. Nobody knows.
Everyone knows. Hashtag I'm Matt Brown. He's a worldwide phenomenon.
Not true. That's not true. Tell your friends to forget.
He was second row at Royal Rumble.
And
2019.
NXT and Raw. Oh.
Yep. NXT
That's-
Takeover Phoenix. And Raw. If you watch the Ronda Rousey promo
much
on
I like
Raw
your house.
after
I hope we
Royal
get to come back
Rumble,
sometime.
the one where she gets like told off by Becky and she's all like shaky and the crowd's like booing the shit out of her.
That was a good one.
If you watch that promo, almost the whole time you see this Matt Brown emoji behind it. It's pretty good. He's a worldwide phenomenon.
Yeah.
Let's see.
There's a match for.
We are going to post, this is going to be available for replay for you, Shadow King. I'm not going to repeat everything. It was a long show. But we did go over FyterFest. He didn't watch it. I'm the only one who watched it. And so we did it kind of a different way that we normally do.
Facilitated some
and a
good
producer.
conversation though.
Yeah, you
for
did
not
Oh.
watching it.
I think it was a great show. Great show for people who didn't watch it to get a good conversation going. I think it was actually great.
Really, because you gave it an overall 2 out of 5.
Our show, not theirs.
Oh.
I give our show a
What
2
would
out
you-
of 5.
What would you give
I'd
our
give us
show
a 4.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, we do much better than Fighter.
I feel like this show was better than FyterFest.
Twice as good, actually, if you go by the numbers.
And we also get color without intending to.
Yep. Yeah, I punched him in the
What do you
face
think
last week.
we combined weight of us in vodka
I'm
cranberries?
340.
You're 340 vodka cranberry?
No, I'm 340 of pounds. So vodka
Of
cranberries. I'm a big
We'd
boy.
be an elephant.
Rewatch the rest of the show, but the theme of the day has been weighing things in the metric of vodka cranberries.
I think we should
Yeah,
have
due to
everything
private
be weighed based
party.
on dumb
Yeah.
things.
Though Shadow King didn't like FyterFest at all.
Yeah, well, neither did.
Yeah, I gave it a 2 out of 5 because I don't think it was like throwaway. I do think it was worse than Double or Nothing. I do think it was worse than the average pay-per-view that I do see. I have hope for it to be better. I do think that Cody and Darby, if it wasn't for them, it'd be hard to say this was worth watching as a show. But Darby and Cody is worth a watch and a rewatch. I've watched that match twice now, and man, those guys are incredible.
My wife's
You
jealous
guys
of your
just
yard.
Say 2 out of 5.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that wraps us up. If you guys,
We should do
Are
more
curious-
off-site shows.
Yeah, thanks for coming to my yard.
Yeah.
yeah,
My wife is very jealous of your yard and
Really?
is pissed at me right now. And she's like, "This is what we need to do,
Sending
Eric.
pictures of
Get
my-
off your fat
sending
ass."
Pictures of my yard, your
Yeah,
wife.
yeah. I was like,
of
"This is
the
what-
yard or the
it's-
back. If she's watching the show, all she's seeing is the windows.
No, I sent a picture. I
How
sent a
bad
picture.
is your house where she sees windows not broken and she goes, "Oh my god,
It's funny too,
There is
because
one
just
broken.
out of frame, there's a broken window.
oh shit, it's a broken window." Just out of frame.
I used to have the grill right there, and the heat from the grill literally cracked the
God.
window.
Yeah, producer
Oh,
really
that's
had to
fun.
work this frame.
I have my grill
Yeah.
under our electrical box, which is probably dumber. So
So yeah, AmericanRebelCigars.com. They are not our sponsor, but today
Yet.
we are theirs.
Shiner, Texas
Shiner.
brewery. They make Shiner Bock.
I thought they were like
There's
Miller.
no reason why they should sponsor this show. It's just my favorite.
Yeah, they're good. If Shinerbox sponsors the show, we'll do one show outside a month.
Costco, for your fantastic products in large quantities, such as this whiskey, and things that I can consume, I would love a crate of Pellegrino, because I can drink that.
No. Shadow King says he's surprised that this alcohol is even still here. It was just me this time, man. Like,
And
that's not
also,
true. Well, yeah.
Shadow King, we are in Arizona, and it is about 98 degrees outside
Yeah, I mean,
right
I'm
now.
dehydrated enough as it
Yeah.
is. I just smoked a cigar, and then you hand me a whiskey on top of that.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
a rough one.
That cigar fucked me up.
I'm doing
man.
this for you, not for me.
We are
Man. I'm not enjoying
normally
this.
in
Yeah.
central
Yeah.
AC.
I could not be more upset with myself.
In
Right
20 minutes, can we be sponsored by Imodium?
Yeah.
Not Kirkland.
But that's it, guys. Check out AmericanRebelCigars.com.
I got ash on my goddamn phone.
I know that we put out that sticker every show, but this is the first show where we actually tried them, and the first cigar ever the Clump had was American Rebel cigar, and I think that's pretty cool.
And we really hope that whenever you get to actually smoke a cigar with your father, that you do not embarrass yourself.
Yeah, I hope
Like-
we taught you a lot. I hope
Like
you were
you
paying
did,
attention.
like you did here today.
No,
Definitely.
we should live stream that.
Do
You just
none of
should
the
be ashamed.
things you did here today, so that your father will love you.
We said Molson Canadian sponsorship.
Oh no! If we're gonna do Canadian sponsorship, Tim Hortons, because Molson's no.
Molson's good. So is Tim Horton.
I don't think.
Yeah, no, I did though. I did a lot. That's why I'm not allowed to anymore.
Yeah.
I did.
I don't think
had
I've
my
had a
fill.
Canadian beer I didn't enjoy. Do you have Blue? Do you drink Blue out there? It's not Labatt's out there. They just have Blue.
Moose Drool.
That's Alaska.
Canada, can you sponsor us? Just Canada.
You're talking about Alaska beers. That's
No,
not,
no, just Canada.
That's America.
I just want Canada. To,
Moose Drool is from Alaska.
well, but I want Canada to.
Then why did you say Moose Drool? That's America.
I thought it was a Canadian.
Yeah, I mean,
Alaska's not in Canada.
I
o-
didn't realize it was Alaska.
it's closer to Canada than anything else, and Russia.
We're getting off topic. We should be focused on Texas.
Can we-
All right. We need Texas. Shinerbach,
Please.
Kirkland, Crown Royal, American Rebel Cigars. We're looking for sponsorships, guys.
We're throwing them all at the wall and hoping
Yeah.
one sticks.
One of them's got to go.
Can you sponsor us?
But that's it. Shadow King, check out our replay on here. Otherwise, I want to post this up on our YouTube. Let me throw a quick YouTube link up there for you. So if you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe. And here we go. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Until I get 100 subscribers, I can't give us a custom URL. So that means all of our URLs suck right now. It's a bunch of random characters.
Hey, friends.
So coming in
Our URL swallows.
here. That's like our URL right now. So fuck, man. Until we can get 100 subscribers. So tell people to subscribe. Put the I in subscribe, the no in notifications. You don't have to be alerted when we post something on YouTube. But if we can get 100 subscribers, we can make it a reasonable URL. Can you imagine if we said youtube.com/wrestlingontherocks? That'd be so much easier than, hey, go to youtube.com/channel/UCS8WAWBRSLCPVU5NXZMFEKW?view_as=subscriber to subscribe
You
now.
lost me at X. I had it right up until there.
You were good to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. See? Tell everyone you know, make fake accounts. I don't give a shit. But that's it, guys. We're going to head out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Shadow King, sorry you missed this one, but check our replay because I think we had some reasonably fair critiques on this one, and it sounds like I liked it maybe more than you. Hit me up on Twitter @RefMarsh if you want to DM me and talk about the show a little bit. I'm happy to go back and forth with you on there. Also, Kevlar's on there at Kevlar on the Rocks with an X. But that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming into our backyard. What should we call it? The outback. What do you call it? What should we call this one? Should have a kitschy, gimmicky kind of backyard wrestling on the rocks.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
You got rocks.
Like, our booze time.
Some rocks.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
See y'all Wednesday.
Last call.
Best day of my life.